Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Shutterfly. If you're like us, you take a lot of pictures because you have a camera right in your hand all the time. How would you not take a lot of pictures? And we're taking all these pictures, more than we've ever taken in the history of the world.
What are you going to do with them all?
That's the thing. You used to get a solid picture, and then you'd look through them, and you could enjoy them. Now they're like back on your camera roll. You can't even find them. You don't want that. That's why the cool thing you need to do, and what I did, and I think it's pretty cool, is create a Shutterfly photo book.
Oh.
What I did, and you're going to enjoy this, Jimmy, because I haven't showed this to you yet, but took all of our pictures from being on tour this year.
Oh.
All live show pictures, us backstage, us on stage, doing all that stuff, and like some of the, just the venues and things, and made a little photo book out of that. Also, they have free 24-hour designer service as well. With their 24-hour designer service, a professional designer is going to lay out the book for you for free in just a day. Make something that means something with Shutterfly. Enjoy 40% off orders over $29 with promo code SMALLTOWN. See site for promotional details.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/Wondery.
This week, in Gainesboro, Tennessee, a strange living situation leads to an odd investigation when a woman suddenly disappears. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another crazy, wild, small town edition of murdering people. People murdering people, Jimmy. That's what we're doing here. Well, we never do one where it's like an animal attack. That wouldn't really be a murder. That would just be
it's
an animal
murder,
was an
right?
animal. Well,
an
I mean,
animal can be murdered,
like a bear mauled a man, you just go, well, that's what bears do. I mean, fuck, he was in the woods. Get out of the woods, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Don't be there.
People get bit by sharks. You're like, well, you know what? If you're in your living room, there's a 0% chance. And that's beautiful.
Generally, if you're just sitting on the beach, they don't come up.
Then, too. Yeah, they don't dive on the beach.
Close.
That would be tragic.
You can literally get to the point where you're not in the water, but you're almost there.
That would be tragic if you got eaten by a shark then.
It dove
you'd be like,
the
that's the
beach to
saddest
eat you.
situation ever. Yeah, if it dove out of the water, came up like right by the refreshment stand and took you down, you'd be like, wow, now that's
you're rinsing
sad.
your feet in that fucking gross fountain. What is that?
I don't know.
What is that water? Is
we're
that
not
city water?
We're not going to solve that here.
Okay.
But thank you, folks, so much for joining us. This episode is wild.
Yeah.
This is what Small Town Murder is all about.
Okay.
This episode, it's a very small town as bumbling an investigation of people that are just it's the hillbillery here is thick. We can cut it with a knife. Thank you, folks, so much. Everybody who's given us iTunes reviews this week, we appreciate it so much. If you have not done it, please get on there, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is. Give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. It's not for our ego. It's really just for business. Right. It helps drive us up the charts, and we appreciate every single one of those. And I'll tell you something else we appreciate. Yeah. Jimmy, you know this. Our list of amazing producers that we're going to talk about at the end of the show. We really, really appreciate these people. And if you want to join these people, the army of wonderful producers that make this show happen, you can do that over at patreon.com/crimeinsports, which is the name of our other podcast, which you should be listening to when you're not. Also, if you want to make a one-time donation, you can do that over at PayPal using our email address, which is crimeinsports@gmail.com, which is the name of our other podcast that you're not listening to. So you should be. You should be. That's the problem. Thank you guys. Also, and this is very important, this is beyond plugging, go to shutupandgivememurder.com
/live and get tickets
/live. Right. You can go to the regular website, you can follow us on social media, and you can do all that stuff, buy merch, buy t-shirts to wear to live shows, and follow that live link.
They're going to be so fun.
And please come out to those shows all over the country.
Get your asses out there.
Houston, you are first up. You are leading off. Dallas is in the 2-hole, and from there it gets insane.
Portland and Seattle, San
Francisco, Phoenix.
You guys better fucking hit cleanup. Let's go.
And we go, of course, to the freezing cold northern and eastern cities only in late November and December because we're fucking stupid. Right. But please show up if you're in those places. We'll be there too. We'll be the guys with huge parkas on because we're cold and we live in Phoenix. So come join us.
We're gonna look like the Pittsburgh Steelers bench.
That's exactly. We're gonna look a big puffy, the ones that fit over pads. We're wearing those down to our ankles. Right. So do that, please. And without further ado, it's time for the disclaimer. This is a comedy podcast, everybody. It is. We deal with real murders. This is all the facts are real. Everything is real.
We don't make shit up.
We don't make anything up. Of course not. That would be terrible. We don't do that. We would tell you ahead of time if we were making something up, but we're not at all. This is real stuff. We try not to make jokes at the expense of the victims or the victims' families. For the most part, that's what we try to do because we're assholes, but we're not scumbags. See, that's what we're going for. So if you want to have a good time, let's do this because honestly, these other, I like a good serious podcast or a good serious TV show about murder. I like that too, but it gets a little much just with the son. They cut their head off, and it's
so solemn,
and it's kind of murder porny weirdness, and so we're just trying to make this a little softer. And I don't know if it's softer because we're making jokes, but we make jokes at the expense of small towns because everybody's from a small town that sucks. Everybody is. We all are. We're bumbling police forces like the one today that should be ashamed of themselves, and that sort of thing. And even murderers, idiot murderers.
But you're going to fucking learn some stuff.
But you're going to learn some stuff. So if that's good for you, oh boy, we're so happy to have you on board. We can't tell you. If that's not good for you, well, you should stop listening now because if you think that comedy and true crime never should go together,
get the fuck out of here.
You're not going to like us at all. And we're probably not going to like you. So move on. Speaking of moving on, I know what time it is, Jimmy. It's time to move on because the people out there, I hear them in their cars and their cubicles, if they're not in a very conservative office where they might be fired, and they're screaming, shut up and give me murder. And we hear them. And we're going to deliver.
Let's do it.
Let's go on a trip, Jimmy. What do you say?
I would love to.
Let's do this. Let's pack up down from Minnesota. Very cold. We were up there. We were freezing, and we will be in Minnesota for the tour. That show is sold out.
You don't have to put your tots in the freezer there. I don't know if you know that.
You just put them outside.
You can leave those on the front
lawn. Put all your stuff. They have special engines there with heaters in the engines.
The block.
It's insane.
A block heater.
It's so weird.
Block warmer.
You're in another. It's not even. It's not even
plug
America.
Your car in, but it's not to make it
climate.
run.
No,
it's to make it run.
And we're going to be stuck there in December. So. Nice booking there. Thank you.
The oil doesn't fucking freeze.
Wonderful. We can't wait, though, to see everybody. But we're going to Tennessee. We're going down south, baby. And this is, oh boy, is this some rural action here. We've done a couple of suburbs lately, and we did the one outside Chicago. And the one last week wasn't too far from Minneapolis. And this one, though, this is in the middle of goddamn nowhere. This is what small town murder is all about. And this is a very underreported thing. That's the other thing, too, is a lot of these cases you'll see. And I try I look up every case I do to try to make sure that nobody else has done it, podcast-wise.
Or minimal is.
Yeah, podcast-wise, or if it's something I've never heard of that's not even like on iTunes or something, like, okay, I'm sure we did it, and it's 42 minutes long. I'm like, I think we're going to do a better job at this.
Very, very little.
Yeah, but if another big show has done it, or a big show has done it, well, I try not to do it. Nobody has ever heard of this person or this thing that's happened. Even the people who are involved seems like haven't heard of it.
Last time we were in Tennessee, you smoked nutsack weed, so
I
this
did.
should be fun.
This will be interesting. We're going to Gainesboro, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Heard of that?
No.
Shit, no, you haven't.
No.
Guarantee you haven't.
I've heard of Gainesville, and I think that's Georgia.
And there's also Florida.
Florida, that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure Georgia has a Gaines or something also.
I'm sure they do.
But Gainesboro, it's in the...
Jesus Christ. I knew it was Florida. I swear to Christ, I knew that.
Gainesville, Philly. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure you did
There was an
somewhere
A at the end of the state. So
I'm not going to... Your Florida knowledge, I'm not going to bother you about it. You thought there was oil there to begin with, and that's what drew people to the state. So let's just say that Jimmy doesn't know a lot about Florida and move on.
And I don't want to know anything about
That's
that
the other
state.
thing. I don't think he's tried to learn.
Willfully ignorant about that shit.
He hasn't tried and failed to learn about Florida. He's just like, nope, don't need that information. Never going there.
I learned that my dad is the only person from Florida to lose his teeth not from meth.
No?
So I don't want to go to Florida.
Fell out from Florida?
Have you heard
Gator fight?
Have you heard of Mountain Dew mouth? That's a thing. That's
Gator?
a fucking thing.
Jesus
Mountain
Christ.
Dew mouth is a thing. It's like meth mouth.
Like you have to have like 4 gallons a day. It's like an IV.
Well, probably only takes 12 ounces of that shit.
This Gainesboro, Tennessee, is in the northern part of the state, kind of in the central part. It's in the county's like round. It's like it's the roundest county. Normally counties have edges and points.
Usually
and
the only thing in the round is a venue.
Yeah, this is. You can tell there was a lot of shit disputed here to make a round county. There was a lot of people probably killing each other because their yard needs to be here and that's on the wrong county.
It's not just like the radiation zone or something.
Well, maybe that too. They said right here's fine.
Right.
This whole area is going to be the town. It's a few more miles east, and you could be considered in the panhandle of Tennessee. So it's close. In this case, is pure panhandle behavior. This belongs in a panhandle. It's an hour and a half to Nashville, 2 hours to Knoxville. So it's the two cities there. It's nowhere near
Tennessee. Right?
Yeah. Those are the two kind of, and nowhere near Memphis, which is all the way on the other side. But it's
damn near Arkansas.
Yeah, that's all the way the hell over there. So it's hours from there. 2.5 hours to Maynardville, which was our first Tennessee episode. It's in Jackson County. Zip code 38562. Area code 931. 1.8 square miles. It's a little one. It's a little town here. The motto of this town, very interesting. It is, quote, "Come for the nothing, stay because you have no other options," which I think is a very realistic. That's you're shooting for realism, which I like. Don't go too far. Don't shoot for the stars here.
Come because your tank's empty. Stay because there's nowhere to fill it.
You don't have any money to do it anyway. So join us, the rest of us that don't.
Stay.
The website of their town is down. That's why I don't know what the hell their motto is. What the hell? I've never seen a town website down before. They're just like down for maintenance. I'm like, okay. And I checked like over 3 days. This wasn't like it was down for an hour. Right. It was just fucking down.
Does it have like the little graphics of the under construction?
It has a guy with glasses at a computer, a little like cartoon man at a computer that looks frustrated, like where he's like pulling his hair out every once in a while. It's ridiculous. The Jackson County motto is, quote, "The Highlands of Tennessee." So there's that. Anyway,
that's lowlands. That's
real. There is. There's mountains and valleys. Yeah, if you drive through Tennessee, it's all hills and valleys and
up and down.
Mountains, and there's the Cumberlands, I think, that run through there.
What are the big mountains where that were on fire? There was
back east?
Yeah, in fucking Tennessee. There was some that were on fire.
It must be the Cumberland. That's the Cumberland Mountains go through there. That's the big mountain.
Somebody will tweet it at
range
us
there.
3,000
I'm
times.
sure people will tell us. Thank you for your information. This is in the foothills of the Cumberland Mountains, this area. It's known as the, quote, Switzerland of the Cumberlands, which I don't think Switzerland knows about that. You're like, pardon
they're
me?
not happy about it if they do.
Excuse me? I don't think so.
They're not going to acknowledge it because they don't want anybody to know about this
I don't
shit.
think we don't know anything about that.
Switzerland of Tennessee.
Don't put this on us. What happens there? This isn't our fucking fault. We're over here making chocolate and fucking, I don't know what else, watches and shit. Is that the Swiss?
We're printing a cute girl on a box.
That's all. We got that.
Leave us out of this.
We're putting marshmallows in it. We're busy. Get the hell away from
dry
me.
freeze.
You know how that works. They're delicious, though. The second the milk hits it, boom, they come to life.
Yeah.
This area was a popular destination for long hunters.
What's a short hunter?
Back in the 1770s. Well, there was natural salt licks, which drew game to the area.
Oh.
So there's just salt popping up out of the ground, which drew game, and this was a good place to hunt. And the long hunter is an explorer and a hunter that made expeditions for as much as 6 months at a time.
Oh, so he hunts a long time.
This is a long, I'm in it for the long game.
6 months.
Yeah, he goes out for
criminal.
6 months. Plus, what do you do with the meat you got 6 months ago?
Right.
That's shit by the
spoiled.
time it's gone.
Or you got to eat that.
Yeah.
You got to eat that until it's gone and then hunt another one?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Or until it spoils?
And then you got to drag all the shit back to town, or do you salt it on the spot? I don't know what they're doing here.
It sounds like a lot of work.
It sounds like a lot of work.
That doesn't
here.
sound like vacation.
No, it's I found this passage. It says, quote, "The long hunter was peculiar to Southwest Virginia, and nowhere else on any frontier did such hunts ever originate." But then they said they were all here too.
Yeah.
And these were like the main people who started. They were critical to the early settlement of Tennessee and Kentucky.
Yeah.
So these are the people that started Tennessee and Kentucky.
Homeless people
who went into the woods for 6 months to come back with rotten meat. So
yeah, that's not a long hunter. That's a dude that's camping. You know, like,
or that's a guy who's got no house.
Right.
Yeah, if you have a house, it's been overrun in 6 months. By the time you get back, it's gone.
By the time you get back, your wife's like, "I'm fucking someone else now. I thought you were
remarried.
dead."
I have another child. There's a tree is growing in the living room of our old house because it's
pregnant.
abandoned. See that? No.
Yes, he's your brother.
We
what
had
do
a
you
quick
want?
one. It's not even. He came out in 4 months just to piss you off. So
just to get you back here and see him drawing wind.
That's it. But we'll take some meat, thank you.
You got some of that deer jerky? That's
that
great.
sounds delicious. Freeze dry that just like a marshmallow. We are the Switzerland of the Cumberlands. Write it down. The fuck is that about?
And by the way, how did you make that jerky? You don't have a dehydrator. You just leave that on a rock?
Probably.
That's spoiled
in the
meat.
sun, they're like, that's going to be good.
Is that what jerky was originally? It was just
I don't
spoiled
know.
meat?
I think they would smoke it, maybe.
Maybe.
I think there was a smoking process or a salting. There was a salting thing to it because that's how they've preserved meat
I
for
guess that makes sense.
thousands of years. I think they use salt it and then
it dries it out.
It dries it out to nothing, and then it's
like, now it's delicious.
Now I can just extract some
you should
minerals.
Have just eaten that.
Yeah, that would have been great up ahead of time.
Whoever invented it surely stumbled upon it accidentally.
Well, the other 6 months of the year, you need something to eat, I guess, is salted shit you found. There was Avery's Trace passed nearby. Avery's Trace was the principal road used by settlers traveling from Knoxville in that area, eastern Tennessee, to the Nashville area in the late 1700s, early 1800s. This was the main area, and it ran through there, so people would stop through there. People would hunt, grab some meat, and fucking take off, basically. Jackson County is named in honor of who?
You betcha.
Andrew Jackson.
My man.
You know it. And it's crazy. It was established by the Tennessee legislature in November of 1801, which is well before Andrew Jackson was even fucking president.
Really?
That's the crazy part.
They liked him that much. They were on board way ahead of the game.
It's one of the the second oldest Jackson County in the country. They were the second people that were like, he's just enough of an asshole for us. That's the guy right there. Nope, I don't. He wants to kill Indians.
Right.
That's good enough for us.
That's
He'll do
dickhead.
it. We believe in him. He's going to do it. That's what they did. So he was
ground floor people.
I mean, I guess so. They formed it as a part of Smith County, and then they took some Indian lands also. They were like, it's Jackson County, so we're going to take some of you. He was a U.S. congressman and senator from Tennessee at that point, and a Tennessee Supreme Court justice, and a colonel in the Tennessee militia.
Jesus,
at that point,
he is Mr. Tennessee.
He did a lot, and then he was the 7th president of the United States. Also, second oldest of the 23 counties named for Jackson in the United States.
There are 23.
23, which
not
is,
one of them second guessing that idea.
Nope, everyone's like perfect.
We're sticking with it.
There's been a lot of Jacksons since then. It's fun. Pick your Jackson.
Maybe it was Stonewall.
Maybe
we don't know.
It was Tito. We don't know. We have no idea. Maybe this is Jermaine Jackson County. We're not positive. LaToya comes often.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's passed through.
Absolutely. This is the South. There was some racial problems there, obviously. The first man hung in Jackson County was, of course, a black man.
Of course.
Obviously, who was said to have made an attempt on his this was beyond slave times here. This was but it was
in like 1940.
No, this one was actually in like 1812. Okay. So this he was owned by another human being at this point, which is crazy. And he made an attempt on his life, which seems sane at that point.
He was done being a slave.
If someone owns you, you would probably try to make an attempt on. In every movie, if someone is like hostage or owned, you're like, go ahead, stab them, get them in the thing when they're not looking. Like that's what you want. But here, here. No, hung. You get hung for that. Not great. And
so he tried to kill himself, so they killed him for him.
They killed the slave,
right.
not the owner.
Right.
The slave tried to kill. He tried to kill the guy who owned him.
You were saying he tried to commit suicide, so they killed him.
No, he was like, I don't want this man to own me anymore.
Right.
I think I'll stab him now.
I'd like to be free.
I'd like to be free.
Yeah.
Or he didn't do that at all.
Right.
Or he was just like, I don't fucking feel like doing that right now.
Right.
And they were like, he tried to stab me, and then they hung him because that's how they did shit in 1812. The last man hung there in 1936. Shockingly, another black guy.
Yeah,
I'm sure
we
plenty
get it,
in
you
between.
Guys, don't tweet us with it's hanged. We know
it's hanged. We know it's hanged.
It's
just sounds normal.
But y'all sound stupid. No, we
fine.
don't.
I get it. It's hanged. We know it's hanged. It's a conscious decision, and we should reiterate that whenever it comes up because we said that a long time ago, and we haven't said it since then.
Right.
Gainesboro in 1817 was designated as the permanent county seat.
Really?
My goodness. Yeah, you got to have that permanent county seat in 1817, incorporated in 1820. The land was donated by a guy named David Cox. There, Gainesboro used to be, now it's Gaines and then B-O-R-O.
Yeah.
It used to be spelled full
like
borough. Yeah, full borough. And they shortened it because they were like, do we need the U-G-H? Is that really? I mean,
You're
honestly.
just confusing everybody.
We're fucking up the mail. It's really messing everything
Pretty much
up.
everything in the South is B-O-R-O
It's a borough, yeah. A lot of boroughs there.
Yeah.
This borough, that borough, all that sort of thing here. The General Edmund Pendleton Gaines was the man it was named after. He fought with Andrew Jackson in the Battle of New Orleans.
Really?
Yes, he did. So there's that.
I didn't know what the Battle of New Orleans was. Now it makes sense.
Now I get it. John Clemens here, who is the father of Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens,
really
actually kept the first hotel in Gainesboro.
This is fascinating.
Which is wild. I had no idea about that. It was near the jail on the north side of town, I guess. So that's
your hotel is where next to their hotel.
That's exactly. Maybe you're visiting. I don't know what it is there,
stay
but
next to the jail.
Yeah, you spit out a prolific son if you do that. Apparently here, this was a hard place to get to for a long time. Before there was good roads and shit. It's rugged territory that you need to be like we said, long hunters went there. This wasn't a place where you just wander through with your family and go for a picnic. This was definitely like a more rugged place.
Try.
Yeah, it was timber and farming were the primary occupations around here. So hard work, hard scrabble, not a lot of people, long hunting. This is a tough.
You got to earn it.
This is a tough place here. Yeah, it really is here. There was river boats also that would pass by the county that would carry shit around.
Sure.
When that came in, that made it a little bit better. They had the courthouse burned down, of course, as they always do.
Yeah.
This one, 1872. It's an early burning. Yeah. Usually it's 1905 or so. But it burned in the night on August 14th, 1872, and all the county records were lost in the blaze. Everything except those of the Chancery Court, which the guy who was the clerk of had the records held in his private office somewhere.
But everybody
away from
make sure that we know that Mark Twain's dad was here.
But that's
write
it.
that down.
Write that down.
And then we got to write both
everything
black
else,
guys first were hung. Remember that, and then
I don't know what else. Shit, anything?
Lots of homeless.
Anybody? Old people here? You remember anything from before? Because we don't know shit.
This is great.
This is interesting. They had lost everything. The county clerk, the register of deeds, the tax assessor. Yeah. They said it caused great confusion for many years on the town website, the county website, because the town website was down. Jesus Christ! I had to find information through the county.
That is fascinating.
Agriculture was the oldest enterprise. Shocking, because labor used to be shockingly low cost.
Right. It was damn near free.
Pretty close. In 1940, though, of the 194,000 acres listed in the county, over 172,000 of them are devoted to farming.
That's a lot.
So that's like a high percentage. Yeah, it's like 90% farming. It's tobacco, livestock, and corn were continued to be farm products from around here. The population kind of grew steadily through the 1900s. Every 10 years, they'd have like another 100 people there, basically. Eventually peaking out in 1980 at a whopping 1,100 119.
That's a lot of people crammed into a 1.8 square miles.
Yeah, well, there's shit around it too.
Okay.
It's rural. That's the town proper there. I'm sure they count those people.
Still a lot.
It's everybody who picks up their mail right here in the town.
That's who it is.
Nowadays, though, people here, population 955.
It's dropping.
So under a cool G. Yeah. It's negative 5% since 1990, but it's gone up in the last 10 years by a few people. But I mean, that could be a couple of families moving in, and somebody had some kids, and
there's some Mormons fucking. Who knows?
People are living a drop longer, whatever it is. But median age here is 37.2, which the average of 37.4 is the average. Female population, though, very much higher, 53%, which is way out of whack with the norm. It's normally
my vacation spot.
Yeah, it's not bad. Wait till you hear the prices here too. And the age groups, the 75 and over age group is double the amount of people. So there's a lot of old people, and the 0 to 4, like the babies group, is more than double its group.
Weird.
And it all evens out to be perfectly average. It's super strange. It's a weird place. It's just all old people and babies. I don't know who's having these fucking babies, but for some reason it's just I see babies crawling and old people with their walkers
chasing after them.
It's like a weird Stephen King novel. And if this place was in Maine, I'd say I think Stephen King made this up. This isn't real. This is weird as shit. Married population's a little lower than normal, so single population's a little higher, obviously, which is weird. Where people are older, there's a lot of kids, and it's more female heavy. It's usually
so strange.
Statistically, a little bit higher on the married side. High divorce rate here. It's almost twice the average. Widowed is more than twice the average too. So more old people, like we said. Married with no children, almost 37%. So that's
married with no children.
Married with no children.
37.
Married with children, only 16.59%.
Weird.
Which is so strange.
But
single.
Then again, this small population, it can really fuck things up.
That's true too. Single with children is 31%.
Okay.
So there's a lot of people divorced, and this is a high divorce area.
Giving the fuck up.
Just people going, fuck it, I don't know. But the good thing is that actually shows hope to me, because normally in these small towns, they don't actually get divorced. They just leave and stay married for 20 years while living separate lives, having other kids, doing a whole other thing, and they stay married. So the fact that they've got the wherewithal to go down to the courthouse
and fill out some paperwork before they go long trapping.
Paperwork is really the difference between civilized and uncivilized. It's really just paperwork. I swear to Christ, it's all it is.
That is interesting.
It's fucked up, but that's
a good point.
It's a fact, though. Race of this town, 87% white. So very white town, 3.5% or almost 4% black. So not a lot of black people here. For Tennessee, we've seen these small towns. It's either half black or no black people. That's
how black or zero black.
Oh, that's how the small towns work. 0% Native American. They've long pushed them out of this area.
Murdered and raped.
Fuck out of they're not playing that shit. 0.39% Asian. We'll take 2 restaurants. No fucking more than that, though. It ain't happening.
1 restaurant, 1 laundry will compromise.
That's it. Goddamn. They still do laundry, don't they? I don't know what the hell them damn people do.
Only if they do it with that big spoon.
That's what it has to be like Woo and Deadwood. That's what I want. If I watch Deadwood, if I kill a man, I want to feed him to his pigs. Is that a possibility?
I was just seeing Charlie from Charlie Bucket's mom stirring the fucking
Close enough.
Clothing stew.
Close enough. We're having clothes tonight, kids. We're having corduroy.
We're having corduroy cabbage.
Yay.
Enjoy.
Shit.
That
Almost
sounds like a meal.
It does. It sounds like it's just as real as burgoo to me. It sounds just as real as burgoo. I'm sorry. It really does.
Corduroy cabbage.
Corduroy cabbage, everybody. It's ready. Corduroy cabbage is ready. 6% Hispanic about in this town. Another weird thing for the South, 30% religious. 50%'s the norm. So that is, for the South, it's usually 60, 70%. The 30%, this is a weird, like I said, this is a Stephen King novel, this town. 5.1% Baptist. No LDS. They're not having that shit down there. Catholic, 0.0%. Ain't having none of that down here either.
With your kid touching.
A little bit of Methodist and Pentecostal. 20% are other Christian faith, which I don't know what the fuck what weird snake handling,
They got a Bible and they interpret it their own way.
Weird, I don't know what the hell's going on there.
I'll tell you what Jesus meant.
In our church, we got a chimpanzee, and that's instead of a snake, and if he mauls your face, it means he loves you, and so does Jesus. That's how it works in our place. 0.0%.
When he hits you with feces,
you know how that works.
It's Jesus' love.
Oh, it's the love of the Lord. 0.0.
You have to eat that. That's the body of Christ.
No shit. Speaking of body of Christ, 0.0% Jewish, 0.0% Muslim.
Of course.
It's obviously 41% of the people in this town are Democrats, and 57% voted Republican in the last election.
Without faith.
It's strange, man.
That's so weird.
Unemployment rate's a little high. It's about 8% in this town. Median household income. This is where shit falls apart.
Yeah.
The norm is $54,000 in the country. Here it is $22,750.
Interesting.
So less than half, and it really shows.
That is broke.
It's a really seems like a very depressed area.
Yeah.
Any kind of white collar job, there's way less of that than the norm. There's just not a lot. Not a lot in terms of employment. It seems like outdoor shit is your best bet. Yeah. Overall here, the cost of living, we say 100 is regular par average. Overall, the cost of living is 75, and transportation and healthcare and all that shit are about normal. But housing is a 33. $79,200 is the median home cost here, which is a shithole. And even some nice houses are cheap. It's insane. A lot of the houses, we'll say about 20%, 22% of the houses are under $60,000. So that tells you a lot right there.
That's cheap.
It's a lot between 60 and 150. That's a good 60% of the houses. It's crazy. 27.9% of the houses and apartments here are vacant, which is a bad sign for real estate.
A fourth of the town is vacant.
That's a bad sign for real estate. Usually, that's not good. The prices usually drop at that point.
That's a buyer's market, babe.
And if you want to explore that buyer's market, if we've convinced you to move to Gainesboro, Tennessee, we have for you the Gainesboro, Tennessee Real Estate Report. Two-bedroom apartment rental house, whatever the hell here, average rental is $740 a month, which is about $400 less than the national average. Homes here, I found the bargain of the week here, a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,418 square feet house here. It's a foreclosure, all capital letters, foreclosure.
Warning,
$26,900. Cheaper than a Honda Accord, which isn't bad. I found
that's cheaper than the permits it takes to break ground.
Oh, absolutely. In a normal town, and somewhere nice. A 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,300 square foot house, and it's pretty nice. It's just like a nice little house. $47,900.
My word,
not bad. And I found a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,609 square foot place. Really nice, nice house. $129,900 to live in a beautiful house.
What a deal!
Not bad. Not bad at all. So if you can stomach the rest of it, Gainesboro might be the place for you.
3 hours round trip to Nashville.
If you want to retire, maybe that's a good place to retire because it's cheap. Maybe that's why there's old people. Or
dude, I'm in already. I mean, there's 53% women. That's fantastic.
That's not bad. Most of them are elderly, but that's okay.
Or divorced and single.
That's fine. That's what I mean. They got that too. Not a lot of them have kids. Things to do here. This will attract you too, Jimmy. The Sportsman Swap Meet and Yard Sale booths are available. So contact the town when their website's back up for that. Can't do it now. Also,
for a swap meet.
For the swap meet, you got a Sportsman Swap Meet and Yard Sale booth.
Sweet.
You need to get a booth for that.
Come by a fucking chair for me.
Yay, let's do it. Dr. Doug Dykes will serve as the who is the Jackson County Chamber of Commerce guy, apparently.
He's the only doctor in town.
He will serve as the Grand Marshal of the Christmas Parade this year, so watch out for that.
He has the highest level of education around here.
He graduated from Tennessee Tech University.
Wow.
Went to the University of Tennessee at Memphis and then did his I don't give a shit. Who cares?
Right.
Fuck him. Who cares about that guy? He's Grand Marshal of a shit Christmas parade for 12 people are going to show up.
Dr. Doug Dykes. That's his name.
Dycus, it might be Dycus. I don't know.
That's Dykes.
He was smiling, looked like a nice guy. The Upper Cumberland Quilt Festival. Holy shit. See beautiful quilt displays, a quilt barn tour. Oh, wow. Auction, square dancing exhibitions. So there's going to be pros out there, Jimmy.
Everything's square.
They're going to be cutting a fucking rug like nobody's business.
Dancing, everything's square.
You bet it. Crafts and a country store. What year are we in? This is amazing. Crime rate in this town.
This is the beginning of a fish out of water story.
It really is. It's the beginning of Doc Hollywood is what it is. Michael J. Fox is about to show up going, no, I'm on my way to do tit jobs in Hollywood. I'm moving to Beverly Hills.
And then some girl's going to grab him by the shirt and say, no, come piss with me in the woods and scare away the deer.
Yeah, oh boy, that was wild. I've seen that movie way too much too. What a great movie. Not great, but great. Crime rate. Crime in this, it was. Old Porsche, right?
Yeah.
Property crimes, about 10 to 15% higher in this town. I don't know why. You know who stole shit. Yeah. It's Billy. I seen him. I've known him since I was born. Violent crime here, the murder, rape, robbery, and assault, the Mount Rushmore.
Still smells like crime
here. It does.
You know, not only do you know who they are, you know what each person smells like.
Oh, it's true.
You know every little thing about everybody.
I seen him. I know his car. I know his license plate number. You know it all.
He uses Sun and Bounce on his laundry, and I smell it.
I smell it from across the way he does his laundry. Wow, this is a lot of credit. Violent crime just above average in this town, actually. But like we said, small town, the numbers are skewed a little bit when you never know. One guy could be running amok and fucking up the numbers for everybody. Literally. One asshole could go on a crime spree. Whole town's fucked up.
Fuck it all for all year.
Speaking of one guy fucking it up for everybody and murder and violent crime, we have a murder here in this town.
Oh boy.
And like we said, this one here is very, very underreported. Like there is nothing about this case in publications, in newspapers. I found the only mention of this I found in a newspaper was on the bottom of a newspaper, the very bottom corner. It's bottom section, the bottom like 10% of the page after all the real articles. It had like 5 little articles next to each other, all by the same person, and it said down home section, and it had a, I don't know, 45-word summary of this entire thing.
45 words is what they gave
of the whole entire case to a murder that happened, and it's a weird one too.
A victim's family got 45 words, but how much did they cover that fucking quilt festival?
That's what I mean, a lot. And I know about the grand marshal of the parade. I found that, but this
Dykus got a whole page.
This without court documents and without digging deep and me going and fucking signing up for these sites where I can find shit and records and all this crap. Yeah. Without your donations, actually, thank you for helping us do that. Without all that shit, this case I wouldn't be able to find it. We
James
wouldn't be able to find shit about it.
James would have a 45-word fucking podcast.
Yeah, and be like, hey guys, this happened, that happened. Have a good one. It's very interesting. Look it up on your own. Good luck.
Our story fits in a tweet. Enjoy your day.
Have a good one. Yeah, that'd be great. A tweet story. All right, let's do this.
That's what I keep telling people that
Twitter
keep telling me to narrate one of these. Listen, the fucking story will fit in a tweet. You don't want that. It's not a fucking story.
I'll be asking you questions. You'll be like, I don't know.
I didn't
find that. I don't know.
What's a long trapper? I have no fucking idea.
I'm bad at homework. I don't know what happened.
But the sales.
But the sales, Jimmy. So this murder.
Right.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about our great sponsor, Madison Reed.
Madison Reed, Madison-Reed.
Oh, that's right.
REED.com.
You have to go there, guys. Well, I should say ladies here. This is for you guys. This is the best hair color you can get out there. The best at-home hair color.
That's what I'm told.
Yeah, this is better than going to a salon because you're going to get it cheaper and you're going to get it. It's going to be less expensive. You're going to have more control over it. And with a great product like Madison Reed, it is actually just as high quality. Jimmy, I look at your head right now and I see it's screaming for some Madison Reed.
Fill it in.
Now, obviously, we are two men. I have short brown hair. I have no need for any kind of color. Jimmy has hardly any hair at all, so really no need for a color there. We could just paint his head with a Sharpie, but if he did need color, he would use Madison Reed.
Madison-Reed.
Madison-Reed.com, because it's for decades, women have had really no options for this. They can have kind of a lousy hair coloring at home, or they can have this super expensive, complicated process that takes 3 hours at the salon and that whole thing. But now you can have this amazing color. It's salon quality for less than $25. That's amazing. From what I understand, they are reinventing hair color, at home hair color, and it's working. And it's a lot of what it is you guys are busy. That's all there is to it. You're busy. A lot of times you don't have time to go somewhere for 3 hours or you don't want to pay that kind of money. You're busy. So join all the women who are doing this life-changing, awesome thing and coloring their hair with Madison Reed. Find your perfect shade at Madison-Reed, REED.com. Madison Reed would like to honor small town murder listeners listeners with 10% off plus free shipping on their first color kit. All you have to do is use the promo code SMALL. That's promo code SMALL, Madison-Reed.com.
Madison-Reed, REED.com, promo code SMALL, and get 10% off and free shipping. And now back to the show.
If you like our show, you need to check out the Jordan Harbinger Show here on Podcast One. Jordan dives deep into the untapped wisdom of the world's top performers, from intelligence operatives to legendary musicians, iconoclastic writers to visionary change makers. Listen free each week here on Podcast One or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. We're going back to 1996 for this, all the way back in time, going all the way back here. I think Casino was real popular in the theaters and shit like that.
Probably.
Yeah, I remember renting it in late 96, so it was probably...
Space Jam just came out.
It was like 4?
Was it? I don't know. It was probably when I fucking ended up watching it because I was broke and didn't see shit in the theater.
I'm gonna rent it.
Have to wait till it's on VHS.
Yeah. I remember seeing Casino on VHS with the double tape and all that shit. I remember that.
How much of a fucking nightmare was that? You remember?
But it felt like you were getting more for your money. You really did. It really did.
When you have to lug 2 fucking tapes from Blockbuster.
As a little kid, when I was like 9, I'd get like wrestling tapes, WWF at the time, and I'd get WrestleMania 4 all the time, even though it sucked just because it was a double tape. So I felt like I was really getting my money's worth there.
Then you gotta fucking get up and go change the tape and be like, what happened?
It stops. You're like,
there better not be previews in the beginning of this shit.
Never at a good time either.
Right.
It's awful. It's the worst.
Just stops in the middle of Nikki about to push Sharon Stone's head on his dick.
You made me pop your fucking eye out for Charlie fucking M. And then it cuts off. You're like, is he going to pop his eye? Is he going to kill? Is he going to finish it?
You're going to put him in the fucking
What
vice
is he doing? He's in the vice. Is he going to finish the job? Is it really Charlie M? What's happening? So, Casino deep cuts here. My favorite thing, by the way, very quickly in Casino is the guy who, in the casino, the kid who fucks up the slot machines and somebody steals, and he's like, you're either too stupid to find out about it or you're in on it. One of the two. Either way, you're out.
I can't have you here.
Like, that's the most beautiful fucking thing in the world, and anybody that... I love to use that so much.
The best is that he got to say that.
A couple people.
He said it to the guy, and then he sits down in his chair, and then the fucking dad cowboy comes in, and he tells him to his face, listen, I realize he's your kid, but listen, he's either too dumb to know or he's in on it. Either way, he's fucking out of here. I can't have him in on it.
He's very intense about the whole thing.
Casino.
I can't have him here. I can't have it. And then it's like he turns into Robert De Niro from Goodfellas, where he's like, the two of them commiserating. I can't have it. I can't do it.
I appreciate your time. I'll have the governor look over this.
This is very deep now. Okay. We've gone deep on these movies. Let's talk about a story. Let's talk about a woman named Ramona Long. Okay. Ramona Long, I believe her maiden name is Burgess. Her married name is Long. Ramona Long, in 1996, and we went through the time machine. She's 38 years old at this point in time. She's married. She's known to have an alcohol problem. Pretty good one. She's a pretty heavy alcoholic and a history of suicide attempts. She's not very stable.
Do we know what booze she loves?
We don't know. I think anything she can get her hands on.
Alcoholic.
That's
her favorite.
Yeah, she's not whatever. She's not wealthy, we'll say, and she lives in this town. Times are tough, and
whatever's on sale or free.
Yeah, when you hear about the living arrangement too, I feel like I don't know what happened to this woman, but her life wasn't great. She didn't come up in a perfect environment and then just be like, I think I'm going to go this direction.
I think I'm going to be addicted to alcohol
and all this.
Now.
No, this is a response to something. Like, I feel like this woman had a tough life all the way from a young age here. She's 38 years old, like we said. She lives in this fucking town, and she goes back and forth between this town and another town in Putnam County nearby. There's a lot of, this is very Dukes of Hazzard. There's a lot of like cops saying, I'll drive you to the county line and shit like that.
Way.
And this is in 96. Like, this is, it feels like it's the 40s or 50s. It's so strange. Like I said, who knows how, when you hear how she lives, you'll really wonder what the hell happened to her as a young person. She is legally married to a guy named Ricky Long. Okay. seems fine.
Sure.
Her name is Long.
Yeah.
She's separated from Ricky, though.
Yeah.
Not legally, I don't think, but separated from Ricky Long, and lives with another man. She lives with a man whose nickname is Blue.
Yeah.
Everybody calls him Blue. His name is Otis Eugene Long.
Yeah. Blue is better.
Yeah, Blue is better. Did you not notice the last name there?
I did. Is that a brother?
That is Ricky Long's father.
Hold on.
Back it up. Back up
so
the train.
She's married to Ricky. And
married
she
to Ricky.
Leaves him.
They're
and
separated.
Lives with his dad.
Yes, we don't know if that's the reason for the leaving, but they live together, and according to court documents, quote, as man and wife.
Oh, Jesus.
Which I don't know if that's. I don't know if they're legally married or if they're just like
fuck Christmas up.
Can you imagine?
Eesh.
I mean, this makes Rulo look like a whole other thing. This makes Phillips looks like a whole other deal.
Ricky, what'd you get me for? You're fucking my wife.
What the fuck
what
is
are you
this?
talking about?
And they're 38. He's 60.
Yeah.
Blue. Old Otis Eugene Long.
Eesh.
He's got terrible names, so we're going to go with Blue. By the way,
he's named after.
Yeah, you bet your ass he is.
He's named after fucking Paul Bunyan's bull. What the shit is this?
Yeah, exactly. It's I don't know.
Ox.
Well, it's what it was, an ox.
The blue ox.
Babe.
Babe
not
was
blue.
the name, not
he
Blue.
Was blue.
Fuck.
He was blue, though, Jimmy,
really
so you got that right. Not really. He was blue. We'll give you that. And you figured it out pretty quickly.
I think it was a girl, probably.
Maybe.
I don't know. Who cares?
Either that or he called it
it's
Babe.
A nursery rhyme.
It's like, what's up, babe?
Is that a rhyme?
He was just like a real Hollywoody kind of guy, I think, Paul Bunyan. He was like,
it's a great cartoon.
Come on, babe, let's go.
Let's go, babe.
Let's go, babe. We got some trees to take down. Let's do this. He has like a Dennis Miller cadence to him. Hey, babe, come on. We're going.
Babe, I just chopped down a bushel. Would you throw those around for me?
Come on, babe. Let's do this. So, this is fucking wacky right away. And like the family, I don't even know where to begin with this, because there's everybody in this fucking story, including lawyers, police officers, everybody's related.
Right.
Every fucking person in this town is related to each other, as far as I've seen. I've heard about, 25 people in this town, and all of them are fucking related to each other in some way, shape, or form. Like, it's like arachnophobia back to early 90s movies, where there's like this center, hive in the middle.
Where that bubbling thing is at.
These two, Ramona and Blue, everyone in town is related to one of them. Jeez. It's the weirdest fucking thing in the world. They're like the center that everybody springs forth from.
And so did she meet the dad through the husband?
I would imagine so.
Think so, right?
I would think she probably met the guy first, married him, and all that. I would assume first met the father. I don't know, family functions, possibly the wedding. Who the fuck knows?
Possible.
Probably not in situations that were real conducive to hooking up. No. I doubt, but somehow it happened.
This is fucking crazy.
And they live right away. This is batshit.
Yeah.
So, and not to judge Ramona, like I'm saying, we don't know what happened in her life that led up to I'm going to go out with. It's just a weird thing.
My father-in-law.
Well, especially when you hear what kind of guy he is too.
Blue?
He's not a great guy, Blue. Okay. It's not like the son's an abusive asshole, even though he is, and the father's this great, nice guy who's just like the son, but nice, and so she sees that in him, and you can understand. No, complete asshole.
Just doesn't punch her as hard.
Just another asshole. Jesus. Just an older father figure asshole. So I feel bad for this woman. She puts up with a lot of shit, and she has a tough life here in Gainesboro, Tennessee. You can hear the banjos ringing out from holler to holler.
Yeah.
It's ringing out. It
echoes in every holler nearby.
Oh my God. So like we said, Ramona's known to have an alcohol problem, and that's kind of her defining characteristic. That everybody, the first thing they say about her is she had a bad alcohol problem, and she has a bad alcohol problem, and
she's probably numbing some pain.
Anybody that's what I mean. Yeah. She's definitely has issues, and this relationship she has with Blue is just a fucking mess from the start.
Really?
I mean, obviously there's going to be issues. Obviously,
you don't expect that one to be seamless.
No, and this is the thing we've mentioned. I wonder what happened to her to make her want to do. But what about Blue?
Right.
Who the fuck
How do you do that?
Thinks of their daughter-in-law as an option?
Right.
Who goes to Christmas and is like, who's that? She's she's hot. Like, that's not normal at fucking Christmas. So that's my wife, Dad. Oh, how you doing? She calls you Dad, probably, you fucking weirdo. That's creepy as fuck. Eesh. So
unless he likes that thing.
Well, yeah.
Fucked up. If you've got kids and you've got your significant other calling you Daddy.
That's weird shit.
Stop that.
That's weird stuff.
Don't do that shit. That's weird.
It is weird. Unless you're Puerto Rican, I feel like they call each other Poppy, and it's like a...
Poppy's different the same than
thing.
Daddy.
But then they call her Dad Poppy. Yeah. So it's a weird thing. I don't fucking know. Anyway, we'll let that slide. So
that's ethnic.
No insult to you, Puerto Rican people.
White people, knock that shit off. It's creepy.
Knock it the fuck off, white people. Stop that shit. So and what kind of guy is he? It's Blue. Who did he raised Ricky, who was the first person. So she was attracted probably to an asshole to begin with, and Ricky was known as an abusive asshole. Yeah. So this is a disaster by all any measurement you can use. It wasn't uncommon, apparently, for them to have huge fights, Ramona and Blue, have huge blow-up fights that turned physical and everything else, and then she would leave him for a while. You know, she'd go away for a week, go stay with somebody else, and then she'd come back. But there's always a backslide. Yeah. It's a cycle of abuse that happens fucking a lot. Honestly.
Honeymoon, fight, honeymoon.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens here. And during these times, she'd be gone for a while. Sometimes it'd be a while. Sometimes they'd be apart for a month. This went on for years. This wasn't a new relationship in '96. This was the family was long since splintered and shattered when this was going on. So she would date other men while she was, apart from him. She would date other men and just hook up and find people. And she was in her 30s, whatever. She's a single lady, sort of. I mean, sort of. It's got the same last name as two dudes. One she's legally married to, one she's sort of married to and living with. But I mean,
one way or another, she's related to both.
She's related to both of them and everyone else in this goddamn town. But she goes out, and I wish she would have found somebody nice and got the fuck out of this.
Wouldn't that be great?
Out of this whole thing. So I'm happy she's dating other people.
Found a nice trucker at least to take her to fucking 7 towns away.
Problem is here, nice trucker. He makes a good living. Right. He's fucking has a nice house. He's fine. He's steady.
Not murdering hookers across the country.
No, but problem is though, if she found Ricky, who was an asshole, and then her father, who was probably a bigger asshole, Ricky's father, then her choices are probably not wonderful in men. She, like I said, who knows what she grew up in.
She's attracted to equality.
She's attracted to a certain thing, and it's abusive,ness and it's probably a shared thing with the alcoholism goes in there, and also just that cycle. It's a scientific thing. It's not for us to explain. We're not doctors, but it happens. It was well known also. This is the other thing. This is so weird. Well known to everyone in town and their families, which is everyone in town, that Blue frequently abused Ramona physically, beat her up, and would hold her against her will. So he'd beat her up, she'd want to leave, and he would keep her captive, basically, in the house. And then eventually she'd leave and stay away for a month and date another guy, and then that would go sour or whatever, and then she'd come back.
How does somebody that is...
Rinse, repeat.
Right. If that's a known fact, how does somebody, the police, know that?
Well, they do, and that's the... Wait till you hear later on. This is what I mean. This case is infuriating. It's like it's from another time.
Jesus.
I get 96 is 22 years ago, and that's a decent amount of time away. That's a lot of shit has changed in 22 years, but this feels like it's from the 40s or something. It's like a rural 40s story.
So weird.
Where they're just like, oh, them two are at it again. It's almost like a joke, like these two physically abusing each other in the middle of nowhere out there. And this shit is not a joke. It's fucking horrible. And I
was wearing one back then. You know what I mean? Like that's a product that existed while this shit was going on.
That's what I mean. It's relatively the internet existed at this point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could send an email.
Pretty deep.
Yeah.
It's
AOL was sending you discs. This was a big deal.
There's a lot going on that was technological.
This isn't, post-World War II. No. Everybody just came home, fucking post-VJ day. This is a different thing completely. So everyone knows this. Nobody bothers to really step in at all. They're just like, oh, those two crazy fuckers are at it again. Like I said, that goes for the family and everything. Blue also had a weed growing operation outside of town in the woods, which I don't know. I don't know if he made his living that way or if he
just supplemented.
He's just a farmer, man. That's he just did it for the love, for the love of the crop. I think is what it was. He doesn't even smoke it or sell it. He's just like, man, they grow so beautiful. They just grow pretty. You know what I mean? I like to watch.
This is like a Steve Earle song.
Yeah,
this is very Copperhead Road.
Yeah, it's Copperhead Road, but a complete twat. That's the difference now. So, summer of '96, things have gotten out of hand, obviously, as always. We're talking July of 1996. Yeah. Things start to come to a head a little bit. There's a guy named David Fox. He's a Jackson County Sheriff's deputy, and he is the one who is tasked to respond to a domestic violence call at Blue's house between these two. And like we said...
Between her and him?
Between Blue and Ramona. Yeah. And like we said, this is not abnormal. This would be like, go on out to Blue's house again. All right, Jesus, okay.
They're at it again.
Fucking Cletus pulls out, and Roscoe's got his...
You run by there, turn the water hose on him, and come on back.
Well, you do that, please. You just yell at him.
Pick me up a Coke on your way.
Tell her, you know what you do? Tell her to make her famous mac and cheese that Blue likes so much. Once she gets that cooking, he's gonna smell it. Everything's gonna be romantic after that. Tell Blue while she's doing that, run down to the general store, pick up some bubble bath, and afterwards is gonna be a romantic night. It's going to be wonderful, really. It's going to be good stuff. I think that's really what happened back then, rather than, hey, asshole, someone's going to jail for this. I don't know who yet. We'll figure it out, but someone is leaving this fucking residence today.
Their idea of a bath bomb was like Mr. Bubble.
That's it. Oh, yeah. Like, I got a whole package of Mr. Bubble. That's kind of like a bomb.
I got you a bath bomb. I'm going to put all of it in there.
If I just put it all in and crank the water, I think that's a bomb.
You're going to be soft.
They're going to be bubbles everywhere. I'll tell you that right now. So this guy responds.
You'll be softer than a Swiss Miss marshmallow.
You know it. Once it's been hydrated, obviously. Because otherwise they're not soft at all. They'll bounce. So at this time, July 26, 1996, this Fox detective or Deputy Fox is out there. He responds to the domestic violence call. Ramona tells him that she wants to go to her mother's house and get away from him, get away from Blue.
Where's mom live?
She tells her mom lives in Putnam County.
Okay.
So she tells the deputy, county sheriff deputy, please take me to my mother's house and get me away from this fucking psychopath. Which good. That's a positive sign. Yeah. A, it's on the record that this is happening. B, you're telling him that you want to go, and then you can talk a little more and at least get shit on the record of what's going on.
Does Ramona have no car?
Ramona has no car. Okay. Ramona is not in good...
She's not... Her financials?
I don't think her credit score is very good. Let's put it that way.
Her financials are struggling a bit?
I think she's struggling slightly. She's she lives with him and then sleeps on her mother's.
It sounds like she didn't like Ricky, but she's reliant on booze and needs somebody to buy it. Therefore, she will blow somebody else, and the closest one might be Blue.
It's fucking sad, and for a steady one, because he's got the weed hookup. Yeah. It's sad, and I feel like this lady. It's like this, and the where it is too. Like this isn't like. You can't just be like, it's not a big city. Right. There's not like where she can be like, look, there's like 8 women's shelters in town. Why don't you fucking go to? Not that that's easy to do, but that's not even a suggestion. It's a town of nobody.
And also,
there is no anything. There's no resources.
You can go get a job while you're
on your own,
and then you can move on.
You have
to
opportunities.
Else. Right.
She's trapped in this area
and cycle.
And between this town and her mother's town, it's just this rural area where there's very little opportunity and very little chance to break a cycle that you're in.
Jesus.
And it probably feels like she's very trapped.
She should be a long trapper.
She should be a long trapper, 6 months at a time in the woods, baby. Then if anybody fucks with her, she's going to have some like bow skills. Yeah. She's going to be wielding a machete. It's going to be beautiful.
So moonshine's still out there, and you'll be all right.
They're going to make a fortune, more than Blue's weed farm.
Yeah, you put his weed farm out of business with your white lightning,
honey.
That's
right, baby. So this is fucked up now. Ramona says she wants to go to her mother's house. It's in Putnam County. So Fox, the detective or the deputy, offers to drive her to the Putnam County line.
And that's as far as he's going.
What kind of Dukes of Hazzard horse shit is that? What is that shit? Yeah. We just got to make it to the county. I'll drive you to the county line. My car just disables if I drive across the county line. You can't drive her as a human being, a woman who's being abused and crying needs to go to. You can't drive her as a human being another mile to her mother's house. You're going to drop her off at the sign that says this county now.
Well, you
like it's a magical
now, so get on out of here.
Like it's a fucking East German checkpoint. Well, it's another county. Just drive over there and drop her off, you asshole.
Your car's not as much as a fucking grocery cart. It doesn't leave a grocery store.
Fuck, man.
What are you doing?
I mean, I'm sure it's some sort of protocol or whatever, but honestly,
what a shit protocol.
Who's fucking checking up on this? Like, we can't go into that next day. You're not going in there to solve a crime or to arrest somebody. Drop her off as a human. Go off duty for 15 fucking minutes and come back. What are we talking about here? Jesus Christ. We can't go in that county. If they see our car, they're going to kick our asses. Is that it? The sheriffs from Putnam County going to fuck them up? Is that what's going on?
Like stadies or something? They're going to be pissed that you're in their jurisdiction?
That's what it is. Yeah, it's like it turns into the greasers and the socias, and they're fucking squaring off in the park. Holy shit, the police are fighting again.
You on our turf trying to solve our crimes out here?
Goddamn, dropping off our abused women. We'll pick them up at the county line. Thank you.
Goddamn governor's got Jackson County over her.
Jesus Christ, man. So now Fox,
up on us.
This deputy Fox leaves with Ramona headed to the county line.
Right.
Thanks a lot, deputy. And Ramona says, "Hold on, before we go to the county line, turn this way," which is away from the county line.
Yeah.
And the deputy, I keep saying detective, but he's not a fucking detective. He's a deputy.
He wishes he was a detective.
And detectives would be insulted, and he would be insulted because he's proud to be a deputy. Who the fuck knows? I don't want to insult anybody. He's a sheriff's deputy. Okay. So this sheriff's deputy Fox is like, "Okay, what's happening here?" And she says, "Oh, let me take you to where Blue has a weed farm."
Oh, beautiful.
So now she's going to burn him,
now
too.
She's turned state's evidence.
Now she's turning state. Now she's turning state on him. Yeah. She flipped like a motherfucker, man. She flipped with a quickness.
She was getting a free ride out of town with zero questions asked. She's like, you know what? I changed my mind. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. No, she flipped hard.
I like it.
It's good stuff, yeah.
She had a fucking debate in her own head on the way to safety, and she's like, no, fuck this guy.
I've had
enough getting punched.
Full Henry Hill on him. I'm not doing this shit at all anymore. So,
hold on. Me. I'm just trying to get into it because I'm about to sing for you, motherfucker.
I'm about to sing you a tune that smells like marijuana.
You got any water in here? I want to moisten these pipes.
Because it's about, let's do it. Okay, I'm ready. Let's do it. Left. She takes him there. Apparently, at this point, the deputy was saying, what do you want me to do with this information, basically. Yeah. Ramona was saying not to say that they got it from her.
Right.
And he said, why? Right. Why don't you want that?
He'll beat me.
She said that if he found out that I told you, he's going to kill me. And she said she told him at that point that he's told me before, if I tell anyone where the weed farm is, I'm fucking dead.
Well,
that's like, if you turn you in, that's the other thing. Keep your weed farm private. But apparently, maybe he needed her to go pick some shit. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Maybe he's using that to instill more fear in her.
Yeah.
Look, this is something that I do.
I'm a kingpin, and then if you fuck with me, I don't know what he's trying to do.
You don't think I'm a bad man? I've punched you in the mouth. I'll show you where I grow weed,
Yeah, I think it's a control, weird power, strange. I don't know, it makes him feel good. Now, he drops her off at the county line, and 5 days later, on July 31st, 1996, Lillian Burgess, who is Ramona's mother, reports her missing to the Putnam County Sheriff. They don't know where she is. They haven't seen her in days. She came to the house and disappeared. They don't know. In the report filed in Putnam County, she is described as an alcoholic who has tried to commit suicide many times.
That's what they put in the report.
They put that
missing.
Her missing report because it's characteristic. Yeah. So she's an alcoholic. Okay, let's check the bars. I mean, that's honestly what it is. Let's check the bars. Let's check anywhere where liquor stores, bars. If she likes booze, then go where the booze is. She tried to commit suicide. So that's, she might be fragile when you find her. Maybe don't bum rush her if she's, got razor blade in her hand.
It just sounds so fucking heartless.
It does. What they ask, where might she be? What are her characteristics? And they're like, well, number one, she's a drunk. That's first and foremost, because that's what everybody says.
Right.
So, yeah, you got to know where to start. I don't know how the commit suicide thing would really be. I guess that she's fragile, and if you find her, keep an eye on her, make sure she doesn't off herself.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Make sure you warn her when you make contact with her.
Yeah.
We're not here to hurt you.
No one's here to punch you in the eye or kill you.
We're not even here to put you in jail because you're a fucking adult and you're allowed to be missing.
You're allowed to be missing. Right. You can go anywhere you want. You know what? This is the best thing for this woman because who knows what, like I said, in the mother's house, who the hell knows what went on there when she was a kid, and then you got this asshole. Maybe missing is the best thing for this woman.
It's possible.
To be missing for 2 months and get the fuck away from everybody. Now, August 3rd and 4th, she's missing for a few days, and they don't really look after her.
No.
They don't really look for her.
No.
And we'll find out why. Number one, she's an adult. She's 38 years old.
You don't have to.
And they haven't said that she was in imminent danger right before they saw her or anything like this. The thing with Blue happened days before she disappeared.
Also, it's probably not in the police report that she told the police where that shit was.
No, it's not.
She probably didn't even.
It's not.
He didn't write down. The witness may be in fucking danger.
That was just not at all. That's not because I think he just kept it to himself, as we'll find out. These guys aren't real
swift on the uptake.
Not even that. Not even swift on the uptake. They're not real curious about shit. I wouldn't put investigator in any of their titles. They're just sort of, if you call them, they'll show up.
They're badged.
They have badges. If you call them, they'll show up. Yeah. If you need a ride, they'll take you as far as the county line goes. Then they go back to the fucking station. That's it. They're not real cute. They don't really take things and go, I saw that and that. Maybe this. That's not a thought that comes through their fucking mind, as we'll find out.
They don't have cop brains. They have cop uniforms. That's what
they have. Really nice uniforms.
Yeah.
It's policy, town policy at their pressed firm or county policy, Jackson County policy.
Shiny badge.
You're pressed as clean as Jackson was there when he ordered the fucking slaughter of Native Americans. So August 3rd and 4th, we know where Blue was. Yeah. Blue was hanging out with a guy named Roy Thomas. Yeah. Now, Roy Thomas would later tell police that he hired Blue to do some bush hogging.
Oh, yeah. We've heard about what that is. That's fucking mowing.
Yeah, it's mowing. It's work clearing land, basically. Any sort of land clearing.
Thick bushels of fucking grass and
bush hogging.
Bush hogging. That doesn't make any sense.
You want to go some bush hogging? All right.
It's called mowing the lawn.
Hey, you're hogging up all them bushes.
Right.
Stop it.
What is that?
It was bush hog. He's a bush hog. So
Drew down in fucking Alabama. No, he's not in Alabama. Is he? Hattiesburg, Georgia. Yes,
only in
Mississippi.
Hey, Hattiesburg is
fucking
Mississippi.
Nailed it.
Yeah, he is.
That's where he's at. And so when we were talking about bush hogging last time, he mentioned that he goes bush hogging. I was like, I don't know.
It's not goes.
That mean?
You go bowling. You don't go bush hogging. That's yard work.
Says he goes bush hogging.
You don't go yard working. Do you? Is that a thing? You go do some enjoyable leisure activity.
I went tree pruning and...
I went tree pruning isn't a fucking thing. That's what I mean. I went gutter clearing. It was pretty fun. That's never been stated by anybody. No one's ever said that.
I went pool cleaning the other day. I don't know if you know that.
Never fucking said. Ever. Have you ever said you've gone dish doing? No.
I went dish cleaning yesterday.
I went dish doing. Woo-wee, I found me a fork I thought was gone. It's never fucking happened. So you don't go bush hogging.
I went car washing.
I go dishwashing, car washing. I go lawn mowing.
That's a husband. That's a husband making his Sunday honeydew list sound like he went out of town.
Trying to, in his brain, make it sound like leisure activities, like he meant to do it.
Like he went hiking.
Like, where'd you go? You went golfing? Did you go golfing? You go fishing? Well, that's cool. You know what I went? I went gutter cleaning and house painting. That's what I went. I went a light bulb changing. That's what I did. Woo! Going bush
I went
hogging.
attic clearing and everything.
What's his name in Hattiesburg? Drew.
Yeah.
Yes, Drew. That's right. Drew in Hattiesburg. I got to tell you something. If you're, quote, going bush hogging, you need to examine your life and what you find to be leisure activities. That's weird as fuck.
He does go weed smoking too.
He does. Well, that's fine. That's a good activity.
He's coming to Atlanta to do that with you.
Good, nice. We're going bush hogging together. That's what we're going to call it.
He's going to go bush hogging and bring you a bushel to smoke.
We're going to call whatever we smoke. We're going to call it bush hogging. Let's go outside and do some bush hogging.
Come on in the green room, Drew. We're going to do some bush hogging.
So, Apparently, he was clearing land with this guy.
Oh, boy.
Blue has a bulldozer, by the way, that he uses to bush hog.
Okay.
So his bush hogging is easier for him than most people's bush hogging, I feel. He just plows right through that shit. And apparently, he's hired often to bush hog because of the bulldozer that he has. So he's your town bush hogger. Okay. You got some bushes need to be hogged, this is your fucking guy right here. Or a daughter-in-law that needs to be stolen.
Right.
One or the other.
You know what it is, too? The bush hogging episode before was Betty Lou Beats, I think.
Texas.
Who also had a fucking backhoe.
Well, she didn't
to go
have
bush
one.
hogging. Yeah, she hired a dude.
She enticed a local worker.
She told him there was something warm in it for him.
Yeah, which we were not sure if she meant a meal or something else at that point.
A meal or a meal.
Or a meal, if you know what, wank, wank. So they did, I guess this was several times he came over the weekend of August 3rd and 4th, 1996. Blue came over to Roy Thomas's house to bush hog with his bulldozer, which sounds very sexual.
It's fucking so horny.
A bush hogger with my bulldozer, good buddy, let me tell you.
Fuck out of you, girl.
Oh boy. Apparently this guy, Blue, came over to Thomas's house early one morning and performed the work, and then came over to clean up another time the next day. And Thomas says that Blue acted completely normal. Yeah. Nothing's wrong. Normal Blue coming over to bush hog like any other day.
Normal day.
Yeah. August 4th, 1996, a guy named Lewis Paul Lawson, who he is a friend of Blue's. He went over Blue's house to play pool, apparently. So Blue's got a pool table, which I weed money will get you that.
Yeah.
No wonder why. I don't know. I don't know if Ricky has a pool table. That might be the thing. If you're,
that's what got her.
Maybe he was like, I got a pool table, and she was like,
maybe he's got a pony keg back there too.
Oh, he's got like a full
That'll
pool
get you a
room.
Girl. Yeah.
Oh no, with a little bar with a pony keg. Yeah, that'll get you lots of girls in the 50s in Wisconsin if you're 15 years old. They'll get you.
Someone met bed puddle.
That's what I bet. in a paneled basement
at a buddy's house who had a pool table. It was a piece of shit pool table.
Yeah, well,
we duct taped the chutes together to get the balls to return.
The quality of the pool table is going to equal the quality of the people involved. I feel like
if you get duct taped pool chutes, you also get bed pissers.
Yeah, this is just probably plywood with like one of those things you put around the inside of a crib so the baby doesn't hit their head. One of those pads like that around it. That's the bumper. It's just that around plywood with holes drilled in the plywood.
Several of them, none of them match.
None of them fucking match. They're in
the
weird places.
Side with the teddy bears.
This is a special pool table here too, by the way. The holes ain't in the normal places that you usually find them.
8 balls straight up the middle.
Straight up the middle. Boom. Pow. You got it, buddy. Bam. That's fucking perfect. So they played some awkward off-hole pool games here. It's a Sunday, August 4th.
Yeah.
Also was this is so fucking weird. You know who else was there?
Who?
Ricky.
Of course.
Ricky was over there hanging out playing pool.
With his dad who
stole his wife. Who his wife is now living with him as man and wife according to the state, but missing somewhere, legally missing at the same time, but also on the run in Putnam County to her mom's house.
To play pool on the table with 11 holes.
This is a fucking, 11. It's a different amount, we know, but it's more fun that way. You got a better chance of getting a hole in there. We ain't too good at this.
We play slop, so if you hit the ball hard enough, it's going to go in.
It's going to go in somewhere. So I guess a bunch of other people were there too. This was like a pool playing Sunday kind of party. It's in the pool tables in Blue's garage.
Oh boy.
At that point.
Oh, the racist jokes slinging.
Oh my God, the racist jokes that were flying around were probably terrible.
You know what a Mexican and a cue ball have in common? It's jokes like that.
Well, and it's funny too because when I first read Otis, and it's not Otis, it's Odus.
What?
Otis. So I thought it was a black guy. I thought it was like an old timey black name for some reason. I'm like, that's
definitely not.
That sounds biblical. That sounds like, but it's not. It's a very, very white name, and everybody I looked up like people named Odus, a bunch of 75-year-old white men.
Wow.
Just pages of 75-year-old white men.
That many dumb people back in that generation.
Nobody
had no idea how to spell it.
Nobody under the age of 60 right now is named Odus in the entire nation that I could fucking find.
It's a generation.
They're all white. They're just all white. Everybody has overalls on.
So many overalls.
So this Lawson, they're all playing pool and, yeehaw, boy, this is a good time, good old time. Lawson, this Lewis Paul Lawson, asked Blue about a smell He's like, what is that smell? Something smells in here. He just said there was a real, like a sour, foul odor. He's like, what the fuck is that? What is that smell, man, in this garage? And you're in a garage, but this was like a different kind of smell. This wasn't like, he had some dirty overalls he threw in the corner or something. This was worse. And Blue said that he thought one of his dogs probably brought a dead animal near the residence. He's like, they go out in the woods and eat shit and bring it here all the time.
Oh, boy.
Drag shit back and leave it outside the garage.
Try to find that and get rid of that
he's like,
smell,
who knows? Nah, it's all right. It's right next to the outhouse, so it's kind of killing that smell, if I'm being honest with you. You want to smell poop or animal?
You want shit bucket or animal?
Or dead raccoon? Right. Which one? Because I got both. Trust me. In spades, buddy. I got it all. So he says that, and Lawson says that he just acted normal, real casual. He was just like, no, it's probably an animal. He said it happens all the time.
That sounds right.
Dogs just come in, and the guy was just like, whatever, that sounds right.
What world do you live in where somebody says that?
You live in Gainesboro, Tennessee.
Sounds right.
Yeah, you're a hillbilly who lives in Gainesboro, Tennessee, and doesn't question a foul smell at a man who's fucking stole his daughter-in-law from his son, and whose son still comes over to play pool on a Sunday.
Not a lot of people that
There's
question
weird shit going on.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
No.
Police.
Go, okay.
Everyone just is like, all right, shrugs their shoulders. This is the most. We had another story where the cops just went,
all right, story ever.
That's it. It's just a lot of shoulder shrug, and you can't say, all right, without shrugging your shoulders like that. You just can't. All right, when they just walk away, none of my business.
Yeah.
With a badge on.
Yeah.
The county sheriff, none of my business.
I'm not going to pry into your affairs.
Listen, sir, I understand you lack your privacy. So these people here, they said everyone said he acted normal. They didn't freak out about being asked about the smell. He was just like, just the dead animal, dogs, no problem here. Now, August 5th, 1996, the next day, a Monday morning, this is when shit really picks up and starts going crazy. Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Simply Safe Home Security.
SimplySafe.com.
That is SIMPLI safe.com. We love this alarm system. This is a really awesome, convenient, it gives you peace of mind. It's everything you need to protect your home, nothing you don't. Most of these alarm companies are really annoying because they load your home up with obnoxious hardwired technology and you wait forever to have it installed. You're bombarded with contracts and all this type of thing. Simply Safe is different. It doesn't do any of that stuff. It's security you actually want. It's designed so you won't notice it. You never have to think about it. It's that easy. It's intuitive. There's no contract. They work hard to earn your business. That's how they're going to keep your business. They're going to earn it. They're not going to just tie you in with a contract that you're forced to stay there.
Make you love it.
That's right. 24/7 monitoring, police and fire dispatch, just $15 a month for that, $15 a month. Comprehensive protection for your windows, doors, every single room, backups, protecting your home. Even if you lose power, you lose internet, someone attacks the system, it's all backed up, no problem at all. Great. It's won Editor's Choice Awards from CNET, PC Magazine, and The Wirecutter. And Simply Safe protects over 2 million people. Visit simplysafe.com today for free shipping and free returns on a 60-day risk-free trial. Go now, simplysafe.com/small. simplysafe.com/small.
SIMPLISAFE.com/small. And now back to the show.
Going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about TrueCar.
TrueCar.com.
What is MSRP?
It's confusing. That's what it is.
It's exactly what it is. If you're looking to buy a car, you're probably familiar with terms like MSRP. You might even know what it stands for, but what does it actually mean? Same goes for invoice, list price, dealer price. It's enough to confuse anybody. All you really want, all you really need is a price that actually means something to you, the buyer. Introducing True Price from TrueCar. Now you can know exactly what you'll pay for the car you want, including fees and accessories, before you even get to the dealership. TrueCar dealers will show you the true price on cars like the one you want, all from the comfort of home. And how do you know if your true price is a great price? Because TrueCar shows you what all the other people paid for the same car you want. And your certified dealers know this, and so they set their true price competitively
so they can win your business. So when you're ready to buy a new or used car, great site for used cars. Once you register, you'll see real pricing on actual inventory. This is competitive pricing offered to you only by a TrueCar certified dealer for an actual vehicle on their actual lot. It's pricing you'll see before going to a dealership so you can feel confident when you show up. TrueCar customers are more likely to enjoy a faster buying process when they connect with TrueCar certified dealers, while they save an average of over $3,000 off MSRP.
What a deal.
So let me tell you this from us. When you're ready to buy, visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Some features not available in all states.
Yes, that's true. But go to TrueCar.com to find out. And now back to the show.
So Vicky Holloman, on that date, August 5th, 1996, she heads over to, she's a friend of Ramona's, apparently. She heads over to Blue's house because she's also with Ramona's mother. Lillian Burgess, the one who reported her missing. Now we feel like I feel like they're looking for her, but they go under the ruse of something else, not to say like you killed my daughter and stole her and put her. They're not.
They're looking for a nickel bag.
They're trying to be like a little. You got anything? You holding? But they ask apparently Vicky Holloman had loaned Ramona an outfit to wear. On July 31st. Okay. And it was the outfit that Ramona wore on July 31st, and they said they were there to pick it up. Oh. They said, did she, I understand she's not here, but is her going to have that outfit? Right. Basically, they're trying to feel like, oh, we come in and look for it. I don't know. Like they want to look around. They want to find her. But Blue tells Holloman that Ramona left with another person and that Ramona took the outfit with her when she left. She's like, she took off with some guy. I don't know who the fuck. She took the outfit with her.
Saw that shit under her arm.
Take it up with him. Yeah. Take it up with him. The trucker from 7 towns over. Right. I'm not sure what happened exactly, but that's that. So she tells her that, and they don't know what else to do. Yeah. What else do you do at that point? But they just leave.
It's not here.
It's not here. He says they're not here. He's playing it pretty close, so they go, all right, and they just, all right, and they shrug their shoulders and walk out. There's nothing else you can do. Suzanne Long, who is another one of the Longs, that is Blue's granddaughter, who would be a niece of Ricky, of her husband. So it's Ramona's husband's niece and boyfriend's granddaughter. Got it. This woman here, Suzanne Long, she works with Ramona. They work together at the Oshkosh Bagash store.
Are you serious?
I swear to God. They work together at the Oshkosh Bagash store selling tiny overalls to tiny white children. So,
keeping it all white trash.
It's crazy. So she says, on this date, August 5th, Blue asked Suzanne Long, his granddaughter, hey, crack that open.
Okay, go.
Asked the granddaughter if Suzanne would pick up Ramona's paycheck for the month of July. Apparently, Oshkosh pays monthly, which is a strange arrangement, but okay. I guess it doesn't matter. It's a lot of waiting. I would say.
Stretch that thing for 30 days.
That's rough. Your Oshkosh paycheck. You got to sell a lot of overalls to make that stretch. So you got to get some hand-me-downs going. So she said that. So she would do that. She said okay. She went to work at the Oshkosh Bagash where she works, and because Blue told Suzanne that Ramona wants her to pick up the check for her. He says, hey, Suzanne, granddaughter, right? Your aunt, grandma, step-grandma needs her check.
Your aunt, step-grandma.
Would you please pick that up for me? For her.
Your step-auntie granny.
Step-auntie granny, which is the most white trash title ever, which is sad. I feel bad for Ramona. She's missing. I don't mean to call her that, but the whole thing is
horrible.
The whole thing is just a disaster. Yeah. So Tommy Donahue is the human resources manager at the Oshkosh Bagash. Wow. He says that company policy is to not give checks to Ramona.
That
because
was my next question.
No,
the
not
company's just going to be like, yeah, sure, here you go.
Yeah, well, I guess because it's her whatever the fuck relative, I don't know. But she says that she needs written authorization from Ramona to pick up a paycheck. No one else is allowed to pick up paychecks. So she says no, refuses to give the paycheck to Suzanne. So Suzanne says, all right, shrugs her shoulders, fucking leaves. So you would assume that's the end of the check controversy. But instead, Blue throws down an extra gauntlet of checkdom here and calls Oshkosh after Suzanne already tried to get the paycheck. And Blue asked if Suzanne had gotten the check from that. He's that impatient. He can't even wait for Suzanne to get back with the check. He calls Oshkosh, did you give her the check? Which is very impatient. And Donahue here, the human resources person, explained why they didn't give the check to Suzanne, said they don't have written authorization. He's like, but she said she wanted the check. And they're like, you need that in writing, sir.
I'm going to read you the policy again, sir.
So finally, he just said, all right, and hung up the phone. That was that. Everybody's giving up in this story. Just constant giving up. Finally, Jackson County Deputy Sheriff Kenneth Bean visited Blue's house on the evening of August 5th. Okay. Finally. Yeah. They reported her missing on the 31st. Yeah. They finally show up on August 5th.
Wow.
Which is fucking insane.
A week later,
just to ask a question, and it's like her primary residence, so it would be pretty much the first place you'd look. Is let's knock on that door first. Where is she living? Okay, let's go there first.
When my keys are missing, I look for the dish that I put them in when I come in the door.
That's the thing. So
this is her key dish.
This is her key dish. So yeah, they're like, well, did you put the keys in the dish? And Blue tells Deputy Sheriff Bean that Ramona left with someone in a pickup truck on August 2nd and wasn't at the house at all. That's it. He did say, Blue says that he tried to pick up Ramona's paycheck because Ramona called him on August 4th and asked him to pick it up because, quote, her back was hurting.
Yeah.
So let me tell you something now.
She took a change of clothes on her arm, left with this guy.
Her outfit from the other night.
Clearly been putting in work because her back is hurting.
It's hurting. It's just hurting.
She can't go get her check.
It was a nice truck, I will say. The man knows how to drive a truck. It's a bush hogging kind of truck.
So
I like
it probably wasn't the suspension that gave her the backache.
I'm going to say not.
It was all that
because that's a good truck. I'll tell you right now. So the cops were like, okay, this deputy, he just doesn't know what to do. So he goes, can you, all right. Well, he doesn't actually. All right. He asked, can I look around for Ramona? Can I take a peek around? So Blue says, all right. And he lets him in. There was an all right coming. Don't worry about it. All right. Go on in. So now, this Bean, the sheriff, the county deputy sheriff Bean, he goes inside, and there's other deputies now by this point. Once they start searching, you're not going to go in alone into somebody's house. No. You're calling for backup at that point, especially with this weird shit that goes on. And he's known to be a violent asshole. All right. Gotta get back up. They're like, fuck. They're so lazy in this town. Like, God damn it. Really? Fuck. I don't know. He's looking into shit. He's being a fucking hero out there. Stop being a fucking hero, guy. All right? Come on, man. Jesus Christ. Take it easy. You're making the rest of us look bad.
We don't want to send anybody out there if you didn't get permission. Did you get permission? He said, all right.
He said, all right. And we went, fuck. In this county, that's as good as written permission. All right is as good as written permission in this county. That's as good as a notarized.
Unless you're going to Oshkosh, pick up a paycheck.
Forget about it. No.
All right. Doesn't matter for shit around here.
Oshkosh is a national corporation. They're like, I don't know what the fucking rules of this town are, but they have nothing to do with me.
We got policies up in New York City.
Yeah, you know how that goes here.
We got outlawed.
Up in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I don't think it's...
We got outlets all over this country in big cities. They have policies.
Outlets everywhere. So, they search around. So this Bean, Sheriff Bean here, or Deputy Bean, says that when the other deputies were in the bedroom, Blue walked over to the closet without being asked. He said, without being prompted or instructed, just walked over there on his own and ran his hands across the clothes in the closet and said, quote, look, she's not in here, and kind of smiled at him.
What?
The cop says that he said, quote, look, she's not in here, and kind of smiled at us, and we went on looking through the rest of the house. So that's a weird thing. Like, not in here, wink, wink.
See?
It was so weird.
Told you.
Like, but the way he did it with the closet, like he ran his hands like, not in here. Like, my closet's clean. Check it out.
Go ahead and shut this door now.
That to me sounds like I had her in my closet, but I moved her before you got here, and I'm feeling real smug about it.
She used to be here.
I'm feeling real smug about it right now, too. Like, I made a good call. It's just a weird thing to say.
Good thing I moved her.
Now, the reason, when asked later on, this is what's fucked up. And this, I'm going to read directly from a court paper right now. This is directly from a fucking court document filed in the state of Tennessee in an actual court of law. This wasn't a kangaroo court that people put together, for $5 fines. It says, it appears that common knowledge of the type of relationship between Mr. Long and Ramona caused law enforcement officers to delay their investigation of the report. And it was not till August 5th that law enforcement officers initially visited Mr. Long's residence in Jackson County.
Because it was common knowledge
that he beat the shit out of her all the time. They had a crazy relationship and a tumultuous relationship, so that should be, oh shit, let's do that yesterday, because they fight a lot and there's violence, and usually that escalates a lot to death. Instead,
we're going to postpone that because,
they just waved it off. They were like, them two again.
There could be blood all over there. Who knows?
She's just running away again. I'm sure someone did. Who drove her to the county line? Who did it? Someone drove her to the fucking county line. Tell me who. Somebody drove her to the county line, and they were just like, she's on the wind doing some other shit. Who cares?
You drove her away, right?
Yeah.
So she's gone.
And then finally, when the mother went there looking for her and other people, and the thing with the paycheck and all this starts coming up, finally they're like, fine.
Now we have to look into this.
Fine, we'll go knock on his door. Like, it's not like they needed to. That's the other thing, too. They didn't need to climb Mount Everest. They needed to drive a half a mile and knock on a fucking door.
At most, 1.8 miles.
Yeah, and walk around an old man's house. That's what they needed to do. It's not a lot to fucking ask from your sheriff's office there. Jeez, this is the quintessential an ignored case like this where cops didn't give a shit, nobody cared. That's small town murder in a goddamn nutshell, the whole fucking thing. So on August 6th, now, by the way, they looked through all the house and, he said, not in here, wink, wink, and all that. And they just said, all right, and they left. Literally, that's it. They were like, all right, I guess that's that.
He is right.
And they fucking left. Maybe we couldn't find her, so they left. Nothing they can do. August 6th, the next day, this is now Putnam County and Jackson County sheriffs. They can cross the fucking county line. I love how they can cross the county line and investigate, but they can't cross to drop her off. That's how lazy that motherfucker is.
Unbelievable.
He could have crossed the county line.
For sure.
Fuck that guy. Fuck you, Fox, you lazy bastard.
If you give a shit about a civilian, a citizen, you're going to get her to safety.
Nope. County line. Have fun walking. Tell your story walking, lady. So, literally. So they went in again went to Blue's house again. This is now two different sheriffs. They're not fucking around. They're going to be competing to find the most shit. You know what I mean? You don't want the one county to find everything. It's like an Easter egg hunt at that point, and you're teamed up. So they get there about 12:30 p.m., fucked up their lunch. They were not happy, these lazy bastards. And they knocked on the door and looked all around the property but couldn't find anyone, and no one came to the door. So then after that, they started going to neighbors. And they were like, you know anything about this fucking asshole, basically, I assume. And one of the neighbors said that Blue was probably home because they looked in, they said all of his cars are parked outside, so he's probably home, which is valuable information. A neighbor would know that when someone's home.
It's a good tip.
Yeah, they're going to be nosy as shit, and they know exactly how many cars you have. So these deputies continue to look around, and they end up noticing what they think are possible, what could be blood stains on the frame of the front door. They see, but I mean, it's probably not the most cosmetically kept up house either. Who knows what it is, too? I mean, it could be somebody's Pabst Blue Ribbon puke from the pool game on Sunday. You have no idea.
These people probably don't take care of them. It could be a bloody ear. You know what I mean?
Just an ear bleeding for no reason.
Bleeding out of nowhere.
I don't know. Must have busted a drum again. Just wipes it off.
Sticks
a tissue in there,
trying to get water out of your ear.
Sticks a tissue in there and walks away. So
this situation is very Super Troopers-esque. There's weed, there's a dead body.
That's what I mean. There's Super Troopers,
two battling police departments. This is very.
It's Super Troopers meets the Dukes of Hazzard meets I don't know what the fuck this is. Meets Deliverance. This is a fucking disaster. This whole entire thing.
Oshkosh Bagosh.
Meets Oshkosh Bagosh, and little kids are happy in their little overalls.
And there's a large farva around here somewhere.
Yeah. So they continue to investigate. The stains on the front door pique their curiosity, obviously. They also find what they thought was a piece of carpet across from the house on the other side of the road near the defendant's property, which looked like it had blood stains all on it, which I don't know what they thought. Did he just take it and wing it out across the yard?
Throw it out front.
Hope it gets across the road.
That's gone now.
That's gone now. Ain't nobody Take a look at that. I have no...
That's the worst murder cover-up ever.
That would be the most terrible thing ever. Just literally tossing it. It's on the other side of the road. They can't blame me for it. It's off my property. I get there's no one around me, but it's off my property, so it's not mine. It ain't mine.
It's in the weeds now. It is the weeds property.
They just went, all right, it's county property. Yeah. That belongs to you guys. Congratulations.
I believe that's Fox's.
I believe I'd like to investigate you, sir. Where were you on August 2nd? What do you? Let's turn these questions around. You're the one. You're the one owning a piece of bloody carpet, not me.
It's clearly not mine.
I'm not a member of the county. I don't know what you're talking about. This is crazy.
Clearly that road says county road.
This is ridiculous.
It is clearly yours.
You guys are just civil rights are being violated. I'm not happy right now. This is ridiculous, thinking it's mine. So
you dirty cops.
You dirty bastards. You lazy sons of bitches. And they went, well, yeah, all right. All right, that's fine. He's right about that.
He is right. That is the county road.
Also, they found a hoe handle in the garage that appeared to have blood spatters on it.
Okay, now that's his.
That's in the garage. It's in his pool table.
Could have been somebody with the bloody ear playing pool with
it. He could have been playing pool. He could have his dog could have brought home a raccoon that wasn't quite dead yet, and he needed to beat it to death. You never fucking know. You don't know what goes on out here in the hollers, my friend. That's what happens.
Rusty came over, and all my pool cues, if you roll them on the table, they are crooked.
They're all
crooked.
And
he said, I bet you I break that hoe handle off. It's a lot straighter than your cues.
I bet I'm going to do a better job. Watch this break.
Watch this break. All 12 holes.
I was going to say, 9 hole in the right center lower pocket. Pow.
1 ball. Third hole from the left.
Third hole from the top. All right. It's on the left, but third one from the top. No, not the first one doesn't count. That's kind of in the corner.
Put your finger on the corner hole. Over one. Over
that's
one. Over
two,
one.
Then
that
3.
Hole.
That's the one right there. Yeah, next to the one in the middle. I should have started in the middle. Never mind. Wow.
What a fucked up pool table.
This is, it's a fucking, so now they have things that possibly have blood on them.
Yeah.
They own a nice piece of carpet now, these deputies. They also find a sunken area of ground behind the garage that looks as if something had been buried there.
Well, that's interesting.
Because when anything gets buried, you put the dirt on it, it looks all even and nice, but then once it gets wet and shit, it settles because it's, fluffed up, basically. It's not all compact, and then it looks like that. So that's why they can tell when there's shit buried places. Now, based on this,
when you take dirt out of a hole and you put exactly that amount back in, rarely does it just go even.
It doesn't go even. No.
It's never a
it's
fucking
not
case.
The same thing. That
you ever
shit was
built a basketball hoop and then you're like, where'd all the dirt go?
That shit was crammed in there. It's like,
we need more dirt. I put a coffee can in there with cement in it and I still don't have enough dirt.
It's like taking a cellophane off a pack of cigarettes and trying to put it back on. That doesn't belong on there. It's never been. How'd they put that on there? Must have been with a machine. This is crazy. So it's the same type of thing. They're trying to do that. Now, the officers at this point look around at each other and go, should we get a search warrant? Yeah. I see bloody shit, carpet, and there's some... let's get a warrant.
All right.
Most of them were like, fuck, come on, man. I mean, people bury all sorts of shit around here.
Haven't you heard, James, the difference between civilized and un is paperwork.
It's paperwork.
Are we civilized or are we uncivilized?
I feel like the only reason they went and got it is because there was 2 different counties there, and they were putting, one was like, one guy said it, and they were like, fuck, now we got to do it. Now we got to do it, because the other county's like, yeah, we should really get it. He's like, yeah, I guess we should. Shit. They had like a standoff to see who was going to be the one to actually file for it. Fuck.
Whose judge is awake and we can get one?
I assume it's going to be Jackson County because that's their county, and that's exactly what it is. They decide to get a warrant for the property to search for Ramona Long in the warrant. It is the Jackson County Sheriffs that one of them leaves to get the warrant, and the remainder of the deputies stay at Blue's house because they're obviously going to run a couple of games. But now they still haven't made any contact with him. This is an empty house as far as they're concerned with a bunch of cars in the driveway. That's all they know. So about an hour and a half later, Deputy Hicks returns with the warrant. I got it. He must have been so happy.
He was running.
He tripped and fell, but he's like, I held it up. I didn't get it muddy or nothing. I feel like he's like the 9-year-old. Send Hicks. He's got sandwiches in one hand and the warrant in the other. I brought sandwiches too. So I know you don't like mayo, Sheriff. I didn't get any. So
the car wouldn't start, so I just ran.
I'm
out of breath.
It's all right though. I didn't mind at all. It's exciting. We never have nothing like this around here. So that's why I joined the force.
This is ridiculous.
So now at this point, they have a warrant. Now several officers enter the house.
Yeah.
Now, Blue. One on the roof walking around in circles and then falling off. And then just walking off of it into the ground and falling and being like, his legs kicking up in the air. Guys circling around in the yard, chasing each other. Yeah. Cops running around with each other, then going, "Oh, what are we doing?" And then running another way together,
smacking each other with sandwiches.
Yeah, sandwiches and warrants and nightsticks and shit. Shrugging their shoulders.
His pants fell down.
Yeah, you know that happened. So, what they find when they enter the house is Blue.
Yeah.
He is waiting in a first floor bedroom. Just sitting there. Yeah. Oh, by the way, with a rifle in his hand.
Uh-oh.
So he's waiting for him. He's sitting there with a rifle, which, by the way, I would not advise. If police officers are at your house to serve a warrant and they enter, I would not sit in a room with a fucking rifle. Probably.
And they've been there for a while.
They waited for an hour and a half outside. So they'd probably been there over 2 hours at this point. They're real jacked up to get in there and find out what the hell's going on. So they see him with a rifle. That's a bad sign there. Deputy Hicks is the first guy, I guess, because he's got the warrant in his hand. And Blue is told in what they call, quote, explicit language. Blue tells Deputy Hicks to get the fuck out of his house right goddamn now. And I got this rifle in my hand and blah, blah, blah. So all the officers exit the house.
They just leave.
All right. And they went, all right, he wants to leave. All right. And they just run out the fucking door.
They don't say, we have a fucking warrant, you idiot.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, why don't they tell him that?
And then pull guns on him and then, I don't know, shoot him probably in this case. But no, they just leave to try. But we'll find out in a minute why here in a second, because there's a reason. They have someone in tow that they believe can speak to him, and we'll find out why. Now, all the officers leave, and Blue comes to the front door and tries to lock it again. He's like, just going to lock him out. All right, that was enough of that shit.
That'll solve it.
That's all done. Click, done. So at this point, there is a Putnam County deputy named Doug Burgess who starts talking.
Familiar last name.
Yes, it is, because they're all related. Who starts talking to Blue.
Yeah.
Because Burgess is Ramona Long's cousin.
Jesus Christ.
This is what I mean. This one's the father-in-law and the sister and the granddaughter and the step-niece and the cousin of the thing. It's the cops are even cousins. This is all batshit.
So Officer Burgess says...
So apparently he knew this guy personally because obviously Ramona's been married to his family for a long time now, both him and his son. So
he brings a mean potato salad to the barbecue.
He does, and he's like, oh man, I'm going to miss his potato salad if this is... I hope he didn't kill Ramona, so I'm going to miss that potato salad. Now, Blue asked Burgess to come up to the front door and talk to him. Yeah. He's like, I'll talk to him because he's kinfolk. I don't know what the fuck. So Burgess does so. He's like, all right, I'll go talk to him. Right. I'm the guy. All right. He just moseys on up there. Burgess talks to Blue for the next 3 to 4 hours outside the porch.
Wow.
This is their negotiating.
You've got a warrant.
Yeah, you have a warrant, so send his cousin up to talk to him for 4 hours. What the fuck is going on? Send his girlfriend's cousin up to talk to him. Wow. During this...
Send his son's wife and your girlfriend's cousin up.
Yeah, this is fucking
bananas.
Bonkers. During this entire time, Burgess tells Blue, why they're there. Yeah. He's like, look, we have a search warrant, and he's trying to get information from Blue regarding where Ramona could possibly be. Right. And during this time, by the way, the entire time, Blue is holding his rifle behind the door. Yeah. So they're talking through the door. He's holding his rifle, and I don't know how it takes 3.5 hours to go, we're here because we have a search warrant because fucking Ramona's missing. Do you know where she is? Right. I just did that. And how short? 4 hours it took these people.
We need you to come the fuck out of the house while we go in with this piece of paper that says we can.
I get well, maybe we'll cuff you while we're doing that. Like, I get that there's a slower pace in certain places, but this is fucking ridiculous.
This is super slow.
That took 20 goddamn seconds to do here. This is fucking nuts. So he's got the gun the whole time. Blue initially states that Ramona is not here and she left with someone in an old pickup truck. Yeah. Just like I told the dude yesterday, not here, old pickup truck, have a good one. Right. See you later. All right. And everybody gets in their cars and drives away and gets in accidents as they drive away because they're fucking idiots. So at some point during this 4-hour disaster, Blue asks Burgess, quote, what the situation would be if I had killed Ramona.
Oh, boy.
You'd be arrested. That's your situation.
Right.
What would the situation be if I killed her? Oh, that's no problem. That's fine. We're just here to pick up the carcass and take it on down to the cemetery. And then you can go on about your business at that point. That's fine. That's no problem right there. So I don't know what the fuck they're thinking about with that whole thing. Burgess said, indicated that a proper burial would be appropriate. Yeah. That would be nice. So, we could do that. And they continued talking, and Blue ends up throwing a set of keys out of the house at that point. He tosses the keys outside to just on the porch there. So Burgess says, what the fuck are these keys for? Right. What are these, the house? What are you throwing me? So Blue says that they're for the bulldozer parked over there on the property. Okay. That's what he's saying now. He says, do my bush hogging for me and maybe we'll talk about it. No, he doesn't say that. That would be amazing if he did. He's like, look, you all are going to have to do some work if you want information. I have a strict bush hogging for information policy.
I'm trying to give you guys a vacation, and I'd like you to go guttering.
Yeah, we're going to go guttering. It's going to be wonderful. Let me tell you something.
Go bush hogging.
Oh, man, we're going to go basement cleaning. That's my favorite, boy. Old stuff laying, moldy shit everywhere. It's wonderful. So he throws the keys. He says they're for the bulldozer, by the way. And by the way, Ramona's buried in front of the bulldozer, so you might want to dig her up quick with the bulldozer.
Oh boy,
that's what he says.
So that's the tip he gives them.
That's the tip he gives them. Ramona's buried there. Here's the keys to the bulldozer. Click. Have a good one, guys. I'm gonna go inside now. Fucking Jeopardy's on.
All right.
I don't know what's going on. All right, and they all just leave. They play pool first.
Yeah.
So they're really like, what the fuck? So what's going on here? Pardon, I believe would have been the comeback there.
Say again.
What was that now?
Yeah.
So Blue at that point states that he and Ramona had a fight and that she committed suicide by shooting herself in the head with a pistol.
Okay.
And then at that point, right after he says, this is not funny, that part isn't, but then she committed suicide by shooting herself in the head with a pistol, and as he said it, he threw a pistol out the door. He did. He was like, bulldozer over there, park, Ramona's there. She shot herself with a pistol. It lands next to him. There it is right there. It's fucking batshit, man. There's the pistol.
He is the worst player of Clue ever.
He is not good at this. Yeah, he's really. They thought it's not the hoe handle in the garage; it's the pistol on the front porch. Pistol. Okay, so he throws the pistol outside the front door. Now Burgess continues to negotiate with Blue for some reason. He's admitted that he buried a body in front of the bulldozer. He's thrown a gun out, saying she used it to kill herself. Yeah. He's holding a gun and keeping. There's a lot of information. You just at some point you have to. I don't know how long this will hold up.
This is a
standoff here. Yeah. So they keep.
But it is unfolding fast.
Things are coming. Things are coming.
He's really throwing out some info.
It's really the story comes together very quickly. It's the thing. It's a mystery. Hope it's solved.
It's done.
Okay. Well, it gets worse here. So they continue to negotiate. This time they're negotiating because Burgess doesn't know how to operate the bulldozer. Yeah. None of these fucking cops know how to drive the bulldozer. They're all shrugging. You know how to drive? I don't fucking know how to drive it.
It's probably rigged up and like there's a coat hanger for a choke,
and you don't know what. This raises the fucking thing, and you got
the down actually goes up now.
You have to put underneath it to pull a lever down
because he flipped the hydraulics because he didn't know what he was doing himself. Right.
Did it all himself. So they said, we don't know how to operate this thing, whatever. So this is amazing. Blue agrees to come out of the house to operate the bulldozer to dig up Ramona in the fucking yard.
Right, I'll dig her up.
This is not policy, I don't think. No. I don't think that this is how normal investigations go.
I've never seen on when they take the guy out to the woods. He's always still in handcuffs.
What year is this?
Right.
What year?
This is 96.
What fucking year is this? No. This is the fucked up. It's about to get worse, by the way. I got to tell you, because these cops are the worst. This is I don't understand what kind of cops these are. First of all, okay, you've just said all that. Tell you what, we're going to get you out of here. Then we're going to secure the whole property. Then we're going to have a forensics team come and dig it up so we don't fuck all this up. They just go, hey, guy who fucking buried her with a bulldozer, you want to uncover her real quick while we're here?
Could you exhume that body that you say is there? We don't believe you.
At all.
If you can prove it,
make sure it's not like an old refrigerator you buried.
What the fuck is going on?
He agrees to come out and unearth Ramona. Yeah. As a condition of this, though, Burgess, all law enforcement officers present agree to move to the edge of his property.
What?
Away from him, so they can't get to him now, or that he could see him coming. And also, that the part of it also would be that he would be allowed to return to the house when he finished operating the bulldozer. So he's going to dig her up real quick and go, she's back there now, and to run back in the house and, I don't know, throw them out snacks when they need them. I threw out a zebra cake if anybody wants one. So this is fucking nuts. By the way, they let him have the rifle the whole time, too. So this is a bunch of cops back to the edge of the property and let an armed murder suspect walk out unimpeded, get in a giant piece of dangerous heavy equipment and machinery and fucking dig up an alleged or a suspected corpse that they think he killed. This is not procedure.
What is this?
This is small town shit right here. This doesn't happen in a town with more than 955 people in it, ever. They know what they're doing. There's a procedure in place for doing this shit. It's fucking crazy. So he comes out with the rifle, uses the bulldozer. There's Ramona. Yep. Voila, here we go. See you later. And he returns to the house.
With the shotgun.
With the rifle in his hand. So Burgess, they go back again now to the house. Now they're allowed to come back to the porch. Is it all right if we come back now? Okay. He said it's cool.
Can we talk, sir?
So Burgess comes up and continues to talk to him. At this point, Blue is threatening suicide.
Yeah.
He's very despondent, obviously. Just a tough day for Blue.
Yeah, it's been rough.
He agrees to surrender if he... I don't even know what to say about this. He agrees to surrender if he's allowed to walk over to Ramona's body and see her one last time.
Jesus.
Again, this is not protocol.
No.
Normally, cops would be like, fuck you. You'd have an arm in your neck. You'd be on the floor. 8 people be twisting each limb in different directions, and you'd be cuffed and dragged away.
Before she's even dug up.
The second he
there
said...
wouldn't even be a body.
Bulldozer. Actually, second, he had a gun when you had a fucking search warrant. It shit would be on at that point. But no, not this one. So the officers... What do you think they say, Jimmy?
All
right. That's literally, all right. They, again...
Go ahead, pay your respects, sir.
They don't even, say, okay, we'll cuff you and take you. They back again to the edge of the property.
What the hell?
And he again comes out with his rifle. Now he has, this is the time where he can't have a rifle. This is the time where if there's a time to start shooting cops, this is the time he's going to start shooting cops. He's desperate and whatever. And he's also despondent and suicidal and everything else. He's going to start shooting and turning on himself, you think. Who the fuck knows? But they say, let's just hang out here by the bloody carpet and see what happens, see what comes up. All right. So he comes out armed with a rifle and he goes to the makeshift grave there. After a moment, he looks down at Ramona for a while, then puts the rifle down and surrenders.
Wow.
Okay.
That's it.
He goes, all right, I'm done.
All right,
and he turns around.
Now.
Let's go now. He did the Henry Hill. Now take me to jail.
Yeah.
Except not quite as cool.
Nowhere
not after a night
cool.
of mafia partying in Manhattan. This was totally different. This is a night of deputy negotiating on the front porch.
Deputy cousin negotiating.
Yeah, deputy cousin. This is my deputy cousin.
Right.
So he's taken into custody. He waives his rights, obviously, because he's a fucking idiot, and speaks with Deputy Hicks and Agent Roy Copeland of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Thank God somebody from outside this fucking town is in here. No, it's statey, but still. Tennessee. It's still someone who I feel like has some credentials.
Right.
There's not just the guy they hired who can sit in a car for a long period of time without falling asleep.
He's very metropolitan.
Very cosmopolitan. So they have interviews. They have separate interviews with the defendant. Now at this point the suspect accused. Now Blue tells them that on July 26th, Blue and Ramona had a fight while Ramona was on the phone with her mother, and Ramona left the house escorted by sheriff's deputies, as we talked to, that drove her to the county line.
Right.
These deputies were called by her mother, not by her. That's what he tells them. He says that the next time he saw Ramona, he said he didn't see her for a while after that. She disappeared. Next time he saw her was on July 31st. So 5 days later, after the big fight and the drop off down at the county line. And he sees her at a bar called the Green Fly, which is a very unattractive name
It's a shit fly.
of a place to drink and eat. Yeah. I don't want to eat at the Green Fly.
The Green Fly is the one that lands on shit.
Is it really?
It's that fucking.
I thought all flies would land on shit.
But you seen that metallic one?
Yeah. That's He's a special shit fly.
I don't know. I've never seen any
like shit.
I've never seen any other flies on shit other than those green ones.
Really? I think flies on shit. It's a cliche.
Those metallic ones are.
I'm gonna be all over him like flies on shit.
Those are shit flies.
That's a shit fly. All right, shit flies. So, all right, so it's called the shit fly.
Every time I've been out in the desert and I've seen like horse shit out there, it's always covered in flies that have the metallic green body. They're the shit flies. They're gross flies.
Shit flies. So they meet at the Green Fly. Yeah. This is 5 days after their big blow up. Mm-hmm. Apparently, he says that Ramona came home with him that night, and surprise, they had a fight. Yeah. They had another fucking fight. He then Blue claims that Ramona tried to cut him with a knife. Tried to take a swipe at him, tried to stab. This is a classy couple here.
They really
knife fighting at the Green Fly.
They love hard.
So they were at home. Actually, wasn't at the Green Fly, to be fair. He says he knocked her knife hand away, and the knife inflicted a flesh wound on her neck. At that point, he knocked it away, and she stabbed herself. It didn't hit an artery or anything, but a flesh wound.
Got it.
That didn't need medical attention, but was a knife wound to the neck, apparently.
He smacked her arm and stabbed her.
So,
wow.
Yeah, snagged it back. I don't know how that would work. So he says that was the end of that night. Once there's a neck stabbing, I think the night's over. We'll argue more tomorrow. So on August 1st, he claims that she sleeps until midday, sleeping off that night. Yeah. And then that night, she took 12 to 15 Valium, which he says is a normal thing for her. And other people back up that she takes a lot of fucking Valium or whatever. She likes pills and booze, and that's what she's into. He says in the early morning hours of August 2nd, she asked for a wet rag for her neck wound and a Coke. Yeah. Now, he's a chivalrous motherfucker, if nothing else. If he stabs a woman, he'll get her a wet cloth when she's recovering from the neck wound and a Coke. He gets the cloth for her. Then he leaves the bedroom to get the drink. And while in the kitchen, he claims he hears a gunshot. While he's getting that Coke for her, gunshot happens.
He's rinsing a cloth out, and here's a bang.
He goes, "Oh no, Ramona, my beloved!"
Right,
obviously. And he tells police that Ramona shot herself in the bedroom, in the gun that he kept in the drawer next to the bed. Yeah. Now afterwards, Blue says he washed her off. Which is not what you do. Yeah. I mean, what year is this? Right. If this was 1850, you'd wash off your dead relative. Right. You don't do it now. You call police and they do an investigation.
Unless you're a specific religion.
But even still, someone from the state needs to look into why they died first before anyone's allowed to fuck with anything at that point. So he says he washed Ramona off. He laid her in the closet wrapped in a blanket. Yeah. Not in here.
Not in there.
See what I mean? With the clothes. He's so fucking stupid. Wow. I knew it. You know what I mean? It's so stupid. So, he says that he wrapped her in there. He cleaned the bedroom to remove all the blood stains and cut out the part of the mattresses that were stained with blood. That's not suspicious.
Why did he cut the mattress?
He cut chunks of his mattress out that were blood stained.
Can't sleep on this anymore.
It's real suspicious. Why is there chunks cut out of your mattress? Is a really odd question.
I get to
That's
shit
strange.
Night's sleep.
Wow, your ass is sunk down. What is that? There's a spring coming through here. What the fuck is going on here? So he says at that point he buried her in the morning on Saturday with the bulldozer, and then cut out the carpet in the closet because it was soaked with blood and flung it across the street. So that's literally what he did.
He
was like, cut chunks out of that. And that's good. Carpet, that belongs to the county now, and buried and dead. Let's watch television.
Done and done.
Who wants to play some pool? And then people came over and he played pool. That's what fucking happened. This is insane.
What a timeline.
Everybody want to play some murder ball? Anybody? It's fucking ridiculous. So, he says he cleaned out the closet, like we said, the carpet, all of that. He then tells Agent Copeland that he didn't call the authorities about Ramona's death because he was scared and afraid, and also he planned to commit suicide anyway. So he was like, I was just going to kill myself anyway, and I was scared, and she was already dead, and I was going to be dead, so I figured, what's the fucking point of telling anybody? So that's an odd reasoning for why you didn't.
This story sucks.
This is not a good story that he's telling. No, it's very, very bad.
So then the coroner decides.
Yeah, that's the other thing. He was also scared, he said, that the authorities would accuse him of killing her. Yeah, because you beat the shit out of her all the time. Then the other search, by the way, they keep searching once now they can go in and search once they arrest him. They uncover a bunch of shit that had human blood stains, including a washcloth, obviously the piece of carpet that they noticed across the road, mattress material that he had stuffed in a bucket. his mattress chunks, he just cut them out and stuffed them in a bucket, which is the same as keeping them on your mattress. They're still in your house.
You still own those.
Jesus Christ. Maybe at least he didn't fling them across the room, across the fucking...
Just put them out in the front yard.
Yeah. Also, a piece of mattress, just like a chunk of mattress sitting somewhere, and pieces of burned and torn money that were found in a wood stove, which is super weird. I don't know if there was blood on the money, maybe it was in his pocket, whatever. So he tore up money and burned them in a wood stove. Swabs are taken, obviously, from the blood stains on the door frame, and also there was a handwritten note on yellow paper between the two of them, recovered by Deputy Hicks, but the note disappeared sometime in transferring. They don't ever even have a record of what it said. Nothing. It disappeared from the time they took it from the house to the police station. Okay. It just fell out. I just picture
blew out the window.
Some dipshit with like an open box just carrying a bunch of stuff in here, and it falls and blows away, and he doesn't even notice it.
Big gust of wind, and he just keeps walking.
Unreal, man. It's fucking ridiculous. A TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, forensic scientist named Shelley Betts. She sounds smart.
Yeah,
she testified that she'll later testify that she confirmed the presence of bloodstains on the mattress, piece of mattress, money, washcloth, and carpet. So those are all definitely not Pabst Blue Ribbon puke from a Hardy pool game.
Right.
She says she was not able to match these stains to any particular individual because no standard or blood sample from a person was submitted. This is how inept they are. They didn't submit Ramona's DNA with the bloodstains for comparison, or his DNA with shit for comparison.
It's not like they didn't have it. They got the whole fucking body.
They sent a bunch of blood-stained shit over from a place where a woman died, where the guy admitted she died, told him what happened, and then went, "Yup, there's blood on it. That's what we thought," and then proceeded to go, "All right," and they fucking left. They didn't say, "We should probably compare it to something."
Jesus Christ.
The fucking ineptitude here is wow. This is fucking staggering, man. It's staggering. So at trial, they try to present some sort of evidence of suicide. They do. There's a James Russell Davis II. He's a junior. Don't try to fucking hide.
Stop it, sir.
Yeah, he's a TBI forensic scientist. He testified that he tested samples of matter taken from the skin of Ramona's right hand, and the samples tested negative for gunshot residue. So his story of her shooting herself in the head doesn't hold up because obviously there's no gunshot residue on her hand, which there definitely fucking would be. He did say on cross-examination that it was possible that the decomposition of the body could lead to dissipation of gunshot residue from the skin. He also, Dr. Harlan testified that the gunshot wound that killed Ramona was a, quote, tight contact wound on the right side of her head. Dr. Harlan testified that this type of wound is created when the muzzle of the gun is pressed tightly against the skin. It's a contact wound. So this Dr. Harlan acknowledged also on cross-examination that tight contact gunshot wounds are frequently seen in people who commit suicide. That type of wound is not exclusively seen with suicide, however, they say. Problem is her throat was also cut. That's another problem. Now, what he calls a superficial flesh wound from a fight a few days ago is actually like, oh wow, she had her throat cut, is what they thought.
It's pretty deep.
Apparently not as light of an injury as he said it was.
It's very rare that somebody cuts their own throat and is like, I'm gonna have to end this.
I'm gonna have to end this. I'm gonna shoot myself. So yeah, it's fucked up, man. So at the trial here, the state tries to prove that it was premeditated murder. That's the big thing that they want to prove because that's first degree, whole deal. The defense didn't present any evidence at trial. Nothing. They didn't call a fucking witness. They had nothing to say. What are they going to say? They found everything. Did you find a body at his house? Yes. Did he say? He said he wrapped the body and put it in his closet and then threw the carpet across the street.
Said he gave her a bubble bath.
I'm good with this witness. You're witness. You just walk away. Like, okay, thanks. There's no other. You can't. There's no defense here. So they don't present any evidence. The defense opening and the cross-examination of the prosecution's witnesses tried to show that Ramona Long committed suicide. That's what they were going for. One piece of evidence to possibly to both of these theories was a tape cassette found in Blue's garage. Now, among I'm sure he's got a lot of Jimmy Buffett out there and some stuff like. I figure that's his party time when when he's out in the garage.
Yeah,
he just puts on. He just puts on some good old fashioned drinking music. He don't care.
Parrot head.
That's all, man. A little bit of that.
He's a parrot head. That's what it is.
That's what it is. He's a parrot head. He's an asshole. That's what his problem is. That's what his fucking problem is.
I see a lot of fishing net decorations.
Yeah, a lot of that shit, fake starfish. You know. So this Agent Copeland was. This is fucking amazing. It never stops. Okay. Agent Copeland that we talked about was made aware of the tape by a guy named James Smith. How does James Smith know about the tape? Well, he's a reserve Putnam County Sheriff's deputy who also, his sister also lives with one of Blue's sons.
Jesus God.
Blue is his possible sort of father and
what is that?
Who the fuck? I can't. I've lost the math.
Lives with Blue's son.
His sister lives with not the one he stole. So potentially his sister is Blue's next wife. Potentially is what it is. This guy. So I don't fucking know what's happening.
Or next dead wife.
Yeah. How many of these cops are related to these fucking people? They're all related to everybody. Jesus Christ, you're a stereotype.
Get
town.
the fuck out of this town.
Jesus Christ. So they end up getting, like we said, these tapes. That's so funny. Smith informed Copeland that his sister had promised Blue that she would get 2 cassette tapes from the garage. Yeah. When he went to jail, he said, "You need to go get 2 cassette tapes from my garage." He wanted to clean it up, basically. Copeland asked Blue about the tapes, and Blue acknowledged their existence and volunteered their location in the garage, and they ended up same thing that Smith said, and Copeland recovers the tapes. One of the tapes was introduced at trial as an exhibit and played for the jury. The tape, it's just a speech by him, Rambling Blue. Blue a ramblin'. He talks about Ramona in the present tense. He reveals in this how he and Ramona planned their respective suicides, divides up his property among his children, and then discusses funeral arrangements.
Oh my God.
This is like a suicide tape is what he made basically here. Blue also refers to a fight that he had with Ramona when she had a knife, and how in the fight Ramona was accidentally cut with the knife on the throat. So he's trying to like explain this shit from a tape. He also explains on the tape that the injury made talking very difficult for her. That's how deep of a neck wound is she couldn't talk. That's a deep one. That means you've hit something in there. That's a bad fucking...
Hit a vocal cord.
That's not a flesh wound at all. And that's why she didn't record her wishes alongside the tape.
She can't talk right now, so...
His claim is they got in a fight. She tried to cut him. He blocked it like a fucking ninja. It stabbed her, just a flesh wound, but one big enough to render her unable to speak her suicidal thoughts into a fucking tape and leave her.
This is like a bad voicemail tape.
This is like fucking terrible.
The answering machine that goes, "You've reached Blue and Ramona. Ramona can't talk right now."
And then it goes on for a half fucking hour. That's amazing, though. He explains in the tape, yeah, she's here, she's doing fine, but she can't even go, "I'm right here." Nothing. There's nothing she can do. Just very difficult.
Good God.
He also refers to Ramona in the past tense in at least 3 places in the tape, which is
not good.
A bad slip.
Yeah.
Also, the components, they say the components of his speech were not recorded without interruption, and the sound of the recording device clicking on and off again is audible in several times. So it's not a smooth recording. He was stopping, thinking about it for a while, recording more. Like this is his opus. He probably rewound, edited. He probably did. I'm telling you, man.
He edited the fucking.
He did. He fucking edited. He heard it. He listened back, and he's like, "Nah, I don't sound suicidal enough." And he went back and said it again.
I have to record again.
Wow, that is fucking bonkers, man. And so you can hear that. It's fucking crazy. The state attempts to discredit the theory of suicide through testimony and evidence that contradicted it. Like the state tried to show that he had motive to kill Ramona. An Agent Copeland testified that he and Deputy Hicks searched their property, or his Blue's property, 2 additional times when he was incarcerated, waiting for trial. Each time he consented to the search and even assisted officers in the search. He probably just wanted to get out of jail. They were like, "Yeah, you can walk around with a rifle. It's fine. We'll step back to the edge of the property.
Come on by."
The first search was was for the spent shell casing and the bullet that killed Ramona, and they never found it. And during the search, Blue discussed the events during the preceding days of the murder with the officers, so he was talking a little bit more. Copeland said at one point, one of the deputies commented that Ramona did not deserve what happened to her, and the defendant replied, quote, "Well, by God, she shouldn't have done what she done then." And he said it in a, quote, angry type voice. At that point,
he pissed him off.
When Copeland asked Blue to elaborate, Blue paused and stuttered. He said, quote, like a ha or something to that effect, like a huh, one of those, like I fucking said my piece.
Right.
And
I've
then
done what I've done.
Yeah, and then he said that he asked him again what she had done, and he said, well, she laid down there and shot herself. And he's like, that's why. So he tried to fucking fix it after that. Blue also discussed with the officers Ramona's infidelities all the time, and Copeland asked if Ramona's activities with other men caused Blue to be angry with her, and apparently Blue told him, quote, asked if it was my wife, he said, quote, wouldn't you have gotten mad?
Oh boy.
He said, yeah, if it was your wife, wouldn't you have gotten mad, is what he said. So at this point they present Deputy Fox, the guy who drove her to the county line, and they talk about the Q&A here is, quote, did Ramona ask you about what not to do with the information about the marijuana farm? Mm-hmm. And he says, yes, sir. And they said, what was that? And he says, she said if I told Blue, if he found out she had told me, he would kill her. So he testifies to that in court. Now, in addition to showing motive, they also try to show inconsistencies in his suicide theory, which is not very difficult. During the first search, during his incarceration, they asked him about the presence of bruises on her body. She had bruises. He said that he didn't put the bruises there, and that she had the bruises when they got back together again at the Green Fly on July 31st. So that sometime between the 26th and the 31st, she got some fucking bruises somewhere. I don't know. That went out to the bar. Now, Copeland also says that Blue said that he had, quote, beat the hell out of her before. That's the way he put it.
Not a good thing to say.
Not a good thing to say in this type of situation.
Not when you're on charge of murder.
Yeah, and you're helping deputies search your home.
I didn't kill her. I beat the shit out of her.
I beat the hell out of her before, is what he said. God damn it. They contradicted his explanation by presenting testimony of Vicky Holloman, who was with Ramona on the night of the 31st. Now, this is the bruise testimony. She testified that prior to going out to the Green Fly, she lent her an outfit. Ramona was dressing to go out. She saw Ramona nude from the waist up, and there was no bruises on her body. The only marks were carpet burns on her knees that she had.
Well.
Which we don't know if that's from a fight or...
I do like you, Ramona.
So... yeah, no.
That's the mark of a good lady.
No torso bruises, though. She also, apparently the state also puts up the doctor who autopsied her. That's the Dr. Harlan. And he testified that at the time of the autopsy, there were 2 bruises above her left clavicle. One on the upper arm and one on her left thigh also. He also, on cross-examination, said that the bruises would have occurred prior to death or within 15 to 20 minutes of death. So it's either before she died or right after she's died. Like it happened soon in the last few days before she died. They wouldn't be 2 weeks old. Now, in the closing, prosecution talks more about emphasizes the Ramona's statement that he would kill her if she told about the weed farm. And they said, quote, and think, ladies and gentlemen, what she told David Fox on the night of the 26th. He'll kill me if he finds out about that marijuana. He'll kill me, she repeated again. So he really wanted to emphasize that. So they also raised the issue again when in rebuttal of the defense's closing, and they say, quote, and we also know that she was scared to death, according to James Randolph, when she left that bar. She left with this defendant, but she was scared. He described that. He'll kill me. He'll kill me. That's what she said to David Fox. He'll kill me. In short, Ramona's statement. So they basically just say, that's all they kept going around to. Everything they'd say would end with, he'll kill me. Remember that. He'll kill me. He'll kill me. So, it's effective, I guess.
Yeah, but at this point, that phrase is now wiped out of courts when 12 Angry Men came out in 1965.
Yeah, and this is 1996. Right. It's crazy.
You guys haven't seen that movie yet?
By the way, his whole testimony, Fox's whole testimony, they object repeatedly to every question as hearsay.
Really?
They object to the whole line of questioning, and then every single question is hearsay because she is not there to say that. That is what he says,
That's
whatever.
A damn good point.
It's an interesting thing here. Now, during deliberations, jury deliberations, the jury asked to hear the tapes again, the audio cassettes.
Yeah.
They're like, can we hear that one more time? And
we just want to laugh about
it. We just think he's a jerk off. We want to laugh at him. The judge said no.
Really?
The judge said no, you can't hear them again.
There will be no jokes today.
No, sorry guys, get to fucking work. No more none of this audio tape shit. You just want a tape player so you can play your fucking Journey or whatever you fucking people are listening to.
I heard you guys in there living. You guys were singing "Living on a Prayer" because I wouldn't let you have the play.
I heard it, damn it. Now the judge says that this is considered prior testimony, like a deposition, not an exhibit, even though it was admitted as an exhibit, which makes no fucking sense, and that's going to come up later as well. The verdict comes back. He is Blue. Otis Eugene Long is convicted of first-degree murder by the jury. And we'll do the sentencing real quick here. He said, you Blue, you Sir Blue, may fuck off. Life in prison for this shit. So life in prison at 60 is,
that's life.
That's life. You're fucked at that point. But there's an appeal. There's appeal. He appeals on 3 issues. He says that the evidence was insufficient to sustain his conviction because they said he did not prove premeditation. The state didn't prove premeditation. He also argues that the trial judge committed a reversible error when he allowed the hearsay statement from Ramona through the deputy Fox. And also he argues that the trial judge committed reversible error when he did not allow the audio tape of Blue that Blue made to be played for the jury during deliberations, despite the fact that the tape had previously been played and introduced into evidence as an exhibit, not as testimony. So they do that. The first one, the sufficiency of the evidence, he contends, Blue, or not Blue, his lawyers, I would assume. I don't think Blue contends shit. No. Blue contends there's a bulldozer out there. Want the keys?
Blue contends all evidence is state property.
That's it. Yeah, it's all state property now. It's all you. I don't know. You're the one holding the bloody carpet, not me.
Got it.
Jesus.
I don't have anything bloody.
He contends that there's insufficient evidence for the premeditation on the first-degree murder, premeditated first-degree murder. Now, they end up saying that there is sufficient evidence to support a conviction of they said that the state introduced no evidence of premeditation, is what they're trying to say. And the appeals court agrees with that, but they do say there's sufficient evidence to support a second-degree murder conviction at this point. He challenges the sufficiency of the conviction evidence, the convicting evidence. They say the standard is whether, after reviewing the evidence in the light most favorable to the prosecution, any rational trier of fact could have found the essential elements of the crime beyond a reasonable doubt. So, could you look at this and say, it's fucking, he did it? They said the sufficiency of the convicting evidence must be examined in the light of all evidence presented to the jury, including that which is improperly admitted. Questions concerning the credibility of witnesses, the weight and value to be given as evidence, as well as all factual issues raised by the evidence are resolved by the trier of fact, not this court. So he's saying that's not our job. The appeals court says our job isn't to rehash out the evidence. That's a totally different. If you get a new trial, that's what you do. This is for like legal fuck ups, and that's it here. So like we said, he's convicted of first degree murder. At the time of this offense, the code is defined first degree murder as premeditated and intentional killing of another. So premeditation is an act done after the exercise of reflection and judgment, is what they say.
It's a planning,
which makes sense. Yeah, it's all. And then they go through. I have like this entire fucking code, Tennessee code of what all this shit is, but that doesn't fucking matter. None of it matters. It's necessary, or the mental state of the accused at the time the accused allegedly decided to kill must be carefully considered to determine if there's premeditation. That's basically what they're getting at here. They say when a homicide is proved at trial, it is presumed to be second-degree murder, and the state bears the burden of proving the element of premeditation sufficient to raise the offense to first-degree murder. So it's an aggravator, so they have to do that. Now, the admission of hearsay, like we said, they let this in, and they say the defendant argues that the trial court erred when it admitted hearsay testimony from David Fox regarding the content of the statement made by Ramona Long prior to her death. The state contends that the statement was not offered for the truth of the matter asserted and was thus properly admitted as non-hearsay. We hold the statement was hearsay and improperly admitted. We also hold that error was not harmless. Right. So a lot of times they find errors and they say it's a harmless error. Right. They say this is a fucking red flag. Right. This is bad. They challenged, like we said, they kept challenging the testimony. They said that they tried to keep talking about the fear of Ramona's fear of him, and they're saying the only real thing they got out of that was hearsay. They only got hearsay things of that, which I don't know.
There's no victim.
She said, "Take me to the county line," because he's beating the shit out of me. That's fear. I mean,
there's no victim present because she's fucking dead.
And that's the problem with a lot of murder trials is that person's testimony would be really fucking helpful a lot of times to determine that shit.
Might push things along a lot easier.
Exactly. To me, the throat cutting and the fucking and the shooting. That's you did 2 murders basically. That's I'm sorry. 1 and 2 equals.
You tried one and didn't know how to do it. Is basically what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. So no, it's true. So they say that the state's correct in asserting Ramona's state of mind was at issue because that's what they were trying to see if she was afraid of him. They say the defendant's opening statement, not his opening statement, his attorney's, suggested that Ramona committed suicide. They said defense counsel vigorously cross-examined 3 prosecution witnesses that preceded Deputy Fox, and they bring up each time they discussed suicide. And accordingly, evidence regarding Ramona's state of mind at a time of the murder was indeed relevant, but they also say it's abundantly clear that shit was hearsay and shouldn't have been allowed in. And they have this exchange that's kind of fucking funny here for a second here. The prosecutor says, they're arguing about, well, I'll just read it from the beginning here. The prosecutor says, surely to goodness, you can't talk about suicide all the time and me not be allowed to show a reason to kill her. And the reason is twofold. 1 about the marijuana, 2 about the jealousy. The jealousy, and he gets cut off by the judge. The judge says, I'm more prone to let it in, but not on the marijuana side, but on the statement that's already come about her leaving him, taking her, dropping her off at the county line. That's the same testimony that came up, same officer. He says, the prosecutor says, but also the reason that she said if she finds out I turned him in, he'll kill me. And the defense says, that's speculation. And the judge says, there's a whole lot of speculation. He's like, listen, all of this shit's speculation. None of us were there. Right. So this whole trial is built on speculation. Should be called the House of Speculation. They didn't say all that, unfortunately. He said, you couldn't argue that to the jury. It wouldn't be proper, I don't think. Anyway, finally, the prosecutor said she wound up dead. That's a logical reason and inference to draw circumstantiality from it. If you're going to cut me off, just allow suicide, I might as well fold up and go home. Like, I might as well just say fuck it and just all right and leave. It's suicide. Fine. So, they say, with the factors in mind, they turn to the state's argument that there's sufficient evidence to show premeditation, and they have all these different examples. Victim had engaged in sexual relations with other men. Blue admitted that Ramona, quote, slept around, and then he was angry with her about that. Yep. He admitted that he had, quote, beat the hell out of her before due to these indiscretions. Victim expressed fear of the defendant. Victim's mother and sister went to the house there, and he lied and said she left with another person. He told the same story to the other cops. He acted normally when a group of friends came to his house and shot pool and wondered what that rotting flesh smell was. Right. That was fine. He asked, what if I killed her, to the police officer. They recovered the body. He recovered the body after he hit it. The whole thing, the knife wound, he admitted that he caused the knife wound. He's fucking terrible about all this shit here. They said that the appeals court says they think that the above evidence proves that Blue knowingly killed Ramona. They say, though, it does not prove that he did it in a premeditated fashion. On appeal, the state made the same erroneous argument made at trial and argues premeditation is proved by the amount of evidence regarding his actions after the killing, including interactions with other people, his quote, inhospitable reception of law enforcement officers at his residence. I would say waiting in a room with a rifle is, quote, inhospitable.
Yeah.
That's
it's
if
also
someone's
more evidence than anything else that he did.
If someone doesn't let you use their bathroom, that's inhospitable.
Right.
To sit there with a rifle and tell you to get the fuck out of their house is above and beyond.
And then talk through the door.
Yeah, that's fucking amazing. So they said, quote, the concealment of evidence may be associated with the commission of any crime and the accompanying fear of punishment. One who kills another in passionate rage may dispose of the weapon when reason returns just as readily as the cool, dispassionate killer. The fact that the evidence is subsequently hidden from the police reveals nothing about the criminal state of mind before the crime. So all of this cleaning up and all that shit, they say that does not count legally toward premeditation. Okay. That's post. That's not pre.
Post meditation.
It's post meditation. That's where.
So what the fuck is the ruling?
Ruling is they say that they say there is sufficient evidence of a knowing killing. However, as discussed in parts of a bunch of other shit, errors committed by the trial court require a reversal and remand for a new trial. As a result, defendant's new trial must comply with the limitations set forth in the double jeopardy clause in the federal constitution. Defendant may not be retried for first-degree murder because they struck that down. The highest charge that the defendant may be tried upon remand is second-degree murder. And a lot of this is that hearsay thing. That was a big fucking deal here. It's crazy. So what ends up happening here is conclusion, yes, reversing the judgment. What ends up happening is he ends up, and this is where it gets really squirrely for me, where I had to do a lot of fucking digging, let's just say, is here. Because at this point, anything stops. Yeah. This is when you have to start paying to do crazy shit. Yeah. And I found out that he ended up pleading guilty to a voluntary manslaughter charge. Pleading guilty to a voluntary manslaughter charge.
The state didn't want to go forward with a trial because they were afraid they were going to lose.
Apparently, all the evidence is fucked up. Their shit's on hearsay. Right. They basically struck down their whole case and said, so it's they have the evidence that they killed her. They could have probably got him on second-degree murder. Right. But if he's willing to plea, fuck it.
Get him in jail.
All right. You did it? Yeah, I did it. All right. Put him in jail here. They say the correct remedy for the trial court's error is the reversal of the conviction, which is fucking crazy on this whole thing.
So what's his sentence?
So he ends up pleading guilty for manslaughter. Now, I could never find what he was sentenced for, but I'm afraid that it was like a time served and a little more because I looked him up and tracked him a little bit through a couple of small towns in Tennessee around there, and he was out of jail at some point. He was out of jail at least by the 2008, 2009. That's when I kind of caught up with him, but he could have been released from jail much earlier than that. I'm not sure because this appeal was decided in 2000.
Wow.
So he had already served 4 years. So in a voluntary manslaughter charge,
6 to 10.
You can get 6 to 10, 4 years. If he's got good behavior, he might get a time served and get
around.
All right, and he's fucking out of there.
Wow.
So he at the time, and he was at 2000, he was 64 years old or whatever. So I tracked him through a couple of small towns until finally in October of 2013 he died.
Wow.
At 77.
What the fuck?
He fucking died finally.
Sorry, Ramona.
So sorry, Ramona. You never really got fucking justice.
You never got justice, you poor thing.
Shit. You didn't really get justice. This guy somehow, just by denials and just skirting things, they just all-righted him into fucking up the case completely. The most inept police investigation of a homicide that we've ever covered.
Ever.
They let him do any. They let him be in the house. They let him
control the investigation.
They let him control the evidence. They let him. Wow. It's fucking crazy. Who knows? He could have been in the house destroying evidence, doing things. You can't once you're there with the warrant, you got to get in there and get shit. You can't just hang out with him for. I get that there's standoffs and procedures and all that sort of shit, but is a procedure to fucking back off to the edge of the lawn and let an armed murder suspect fucking use a bulldozer? I don't think that's procedure. I don't know.
That's a smidge dangerous.
It seems dangerous to me, and I doubt that that's taught at the academy. Right. I doubt they're like, look, everybody, this is how you, now when a guy's not coming out, what you got to do is let him do whatever he wants, especially if he's armed. Right. Just let him out.
Let him get behind the wheel of a white Bronco.
Back away. Yeah, this is worse than that. This is
insane.
The shoddiest fucking police work ever that let a murderer walk free. An obvious murder. I mean, this is, you don't get any more obvious than this. Also, I hate to say it too, also Ricky Long is also dead.
Is he really?
His blues son, who is her husband, died in, I believe, 1999.
He outlived that son
Yeah,
bitch.
he outlived his son and killed his wife. And,
oh boy.
What a fucking mess. That's old Blue right there.
Wow.
Old Otis Blue, Eugene Long, and more importantly,
what a story.
Poor Ramona Long and her long, sad journey that ended even sadder, man. That's a rough way to go out of a rough life.
It really is.
That lady had it bad, man. I feel super fucking bad for her. That's a mess. That is Gainesboro, Tennessee.
Whoa.
Pack up your bags and get a moving down there. But I don't know. Get a good security system.
Yeah.
Well, that won't matter. Get yourself a rifle and sit in a rocking chair, because that'll even keep the cops away.
Head on down to the Cracker Barrel.
Oh, they sell them at Oshkosh Bagosh over there.
Scoop you up a nice rocking chair.
Yeah, rocking chair there, and some overalls and a rifle at Oshkosh Bagosh. You can't start the kids out too early, Jimmy. Once they get them little overalls on.
You got a pop gun down there.
With them little elastic around the ankles. You got to arm them. That's all there is to it.
My word.
You know, in case the police come for them. You want them to have a standoff. So that is that. Hope you enjoyed.
How do you keep finding
insanity.
more and more Sweet Pete episodes?
Dude,
This is fucking ridiculous.
Like I said, this is not even. No one covered this.
Nothing.
This was just in that paper. Like I said, that little thing. It said in Gainesboro, and it said a Gainesboro man didn't even have his name. A Gainesboro man is accused of killing a woman named Ramona Long after she was recovered from a 4 foot deep hole in his yard with a gunshot wound to her head and her throat slashed. That was the entire story.
I want more.
That's the whole fucking story. And then it was literally next to like this guy's, it was next to like this guy's going to be Grand Marshal of the parade. Right. It was just next to like local happenings. It was the weirdest fucking thing.
How did I still remember Dr. Doug Dykes?
Dr. Dykes.
How do I? We heard his name 3 times, and I can't get it out of my head.
I mean, if you're ever in that area, you're going to call him up. But this is what I'm saying. Like, this is fucking nuts. The whole thing is crazy. Nobody covered it. You'd think a journalist would have had a ball with this.
Holy shit.
Especially like one from like Nashville or Knoxville to go into a small town like this and unravel this fucking disaster. This would have been great stories, man. But instead, just us. Yeah. So that's fine. We like it.
Well, they don't like to put out miscarriages of justice.
No, I guess not. Well, I would have covered the whole thing. This is crazy. Yes. But I don't know. It's fine. They like it. And if you like this story, then you can do it. You can show us how much you like this story by going to iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, and giving us 5 stars. Do that rating. And when you're done with that, you can maybe, if you're an even bigger, amazing superstar like our long list of producers we're going to talk about, you can head over to patreon.com/crimeinsports to make a donation, or you can head over to PayPal using our email address, which is crimeinsports@gmail.com. Yeah. You want to follow the show, it's at Small Town Murder on Instagram.
Absolutely.
It's at Murder Small on Twitter, Small Town Pod on Facebook, and most importantly, the only real address you need, because you can get to any of those places, donations, following, merchandise, anything you want, especially live show tickets. You can do that all at shutupandgivememurder.com.
Yes, sir.
Do that and buy those tickets, please.
Come
get them
hang
sold
out.
up. Relieve some of our stress and worry. So buy those tickets.
Come have drinks with me. Come bring weed with James.
Yeah, hang out. We'll have a good time.
Let's fucking
watch us run to the airport like we are going to be doing all fucking winter.
Like the Home Alone family.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be running through airports with our clothes dangling out of our suitcase, letters dangling off like deputies carrying evidence away from this fucking case. But Jesus, that said, Jimmy.
Kevin!
Where'd he go? That said, Jimmy, you know what I need from you? I need you to hit me with the list of the most fantastical, wondrous people on earth. Jimmy, hit me with it now.
Here it is right here. Executive producers this week are Sarah Gilbo, who fucking...
Wow, thank you, Sarah.
Wow.
You came through.
You're a darling. Thank you
really appreciate that.
so much.
Thank you.
Carol Braun, who donated both ways.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Carol.
Lucas Rogers, Annette Wright, Crystal Gennaro.
Thank you, Crystal, too.
She's
terrific.
terrific.
She's
a traffic controller.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for not killing us all.
Rachel Fouch, Ryan Gafford, and Carly Harper. They are a couple.
Wow, cool.
Stephanie Ramos, December Theron. I think it's Theron. She donated both ways also.
Wow.
And, of course, Chrissy Ann Castaldi. Thank you guys
always.
so much
for
really coming through and helping us. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, you guys are our heart and soul, honestly.
True.
And so is everybody else coming up.
And
Thank
they are
Sani.
It's Sani Juntola.
I thought you were going to say Sandy Jew something, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's Sani, I believe. Kate Ives, who's around every week.
Yeah.
Rebecca Anders, Jessica Manor, Nicole Johnson, Nick Laycock, Paul Ruest. Again,
Paul, yeah.
That guy's
he's
fantastic.
Great.
He makes memes.
He's not making memes. He's donating money. He's the best.
Amazing.
Thank you.
I hope your little boy's doing all right.
Yeah, absolutely. I meant to say that. Thank you. Yeah.
And then he's got his fucking mother-in-law going through some
Jesus
shit, too.
Christ, I know.
They had to bring her in the house. It's fucked up over at the Ruest house. Shit's going
man.
on.
Sorry. Good luck to you, brother.
He's a fucking man, though. Thank you, brother.
Thanks for hanging in there.
Brooks, Natalie Hodson, Michael Kennedy, who donated twice, I believe.
Oh, my God. Thank you.
Or it's another Mike Kennedy. I'm not sure.
Who knows? Thank you either way.
Nathaniel Schaefer, Justin Inwood, Shannon Russell, Emily Schmidt, Nathan Nolte, who's an officer, I believe.
Is he?
I think so. I think so.
Well, thanks for listening, dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Thank you, Nathan. Charlotte Torque, Robin Buffkin, James Price, Stephanie Igoa.
Let's take another swipe at this bad boy.
Stephanie Igoa, I think. Nikki Eddy. No, Nick Eddy. Diana Libman, Tyler Brown, Juan Yanez, Jesse Hartman, Nick Jungers, Amanda Alfara, William McGuffrin. Yes. Reno in Texas. He came through this town and texted me that he was here, so I stopped to say hello to him. He's terrific. Cool. Thanks for being here, Reno. Good to see you, buddy. Timothy. Shit, sorry, Tim. Timothy Hunt, CIS Hit Squad. I'm not sure what that is. It's a bunch of different people together.
Hopefully they're not minors.
No, they're.
So we know you can't have them in your hit squad.
I think they know better.
Yeah.
Ashley Vio, she's fucking fantastic. And then Mike Kennedy, again, I think it's the same Mike. Heather Norton, and she also sent us a gift. I got to open that.
So cool.
Thank you, Heather. Juan Ortiz, Leah Campbell, Michelle Terry. Michelle Terry Photographs. That's what that is.
Oh, cool.
Beth Grimwood. That's what it is. Melissa Coyle, Alana Crenard, Margie Coonsey. She's been around
cool.
forever.
Thank you, Margie.
Sarah Donnelly, Ken Slattery or Slatery. I'm so bad at this. Matt Dietrich. That's like the noise that you make when you see your little boy when he's like 3. Take a swing with the wiffle ball bat.
Kinda.
That's cute, buddy. Good try. Guido Pip, Shannon Feltus. She's fantastic too. Kate Myers, Ashley Wolf, Jeremy Ochoa, Stephen Rude, Elizabeth Wolfinger. It could be Wolfinger. They don't have fingers.
No.
Nicole Johnson, Gina Miller, Kat with no last name, Justin Miller, Max with no last name, Christian Vasquez, Sharifa Charles. I think that's Sharifa Hay, and she got married or something.
Oh, I think so. Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe. Or she got divorced. And I'm just reminding her of fucking pain.
Just a different person.
Or it's a different person. Kath Leader, Under the Sea Fabrics, Caitlin Jeffrey, Josh Brooks, Bryant Toole, Jack Fisher, Kay Overbay, Jason Fuller, of course.
Oh, yeah,
and
Jason,
he sent fucking
you,
baseball jerseys, bro. I can't wait to see them. They sound fucking rad.
Yeah, dude, Jason's the man. Thank you. We'll see you in Detroit, buddy.
Alejandro Garza, Stephanie Simon, Martina Kunkel, Pierce DeCorky. Doug Mace sent a message because he had to change his Patreon. Don't fucking apologize to us.
Thank you for wanting to give us a cent.
Before you take care of us.
Yeah, and you want to give us a dime. We appreciate it.
Can't wait to see you in Philly, Doug.
No doubt.
Craig McGeechan or in D.C., whichever one
you want to
go. Jeff with no last name, Jamie Finch, David Wilson, Rob Roberts, Dita Vasquez, Catherine Morales, Shelley Warners, Lauren Demarath in Chicago,
Thank you.
Michael Hester, Ariana Folsom up there in L.A., I think, or San Diego. She's in California.
One of the California. Southern
and
California
Colleen,
somewhere.
Holy fuck, am I really going to... SZCZYBOR. Czibor. Colleen
Shabor?
Colleen,
because sometimes all those letters are really easy. Right. Like it sounds like it's like a sh or something.
It's definitely Colleen C.
Hey,
or Colleen S.
Colleen S. We thank you, Colleen.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
You guys are amazing.
We can't tell you how much we appreciate all that you do for us. We hope it comes across in our love for you. We do love you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and for everything you do, especially our producers. Thank you so much. We're not going to stop this because there's a trillion of these cases out there. And as long as we keep finding them, especially unknown weird ones like this, we're going to have a lot of fun doing this and be excited to present this shit to you. So that said, Jimmy, where can they find you if they want to be excited to look into you?
You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you. If you want to look into James deep inside him,
with a bulldozer,
you spread. Where do you look?
With a bulldozer. You go to @JimmyPisFunny is where you can find me, or just copy and paste my last name from the show description and search and find me all over the damn place.
There you go.
Don't try to spell it though; you'll hurt yourself, your eyes and your hands. It just doesn't work out. Your wrist, you'll end up in a brace.
Dislocated middle finger.
It's fucking terrible. Don't do that. But that said, I've had a blast this week. Even with this sad story, it was still crazy enough to be a good time. And thank you guys so much for joining us. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus